Welcome, everybody. It has been an insane weekend already here at Combo Breaker 2024. I, Tweedo, am here with the ever-wonderful Tabby to get you guys through a bit more of these pools.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Just hopped from my own pools right back onto the
Yeah,
mic.
I literally was like, okay, let me catch the rest of this. And then I saw you up there. I was like, yeah!
Yeah. I didn't make it out, though, unfortunately. Had a couple draw opportunities not go in my favor. But we are here to see some other people make those dream miracles into reality.
Yeah, for sure. And we were just looking at it. There's a lot of interesting players that we have the chance to see. So if you guys want some big names, we were talking about like CG, Big Black, and a few others. So be sure to there's a lot going on here. And as a 600-person bracket goes, there's going to be a lot of people we don't know, and I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of crazy surprises.
But that's the best part. There are so many names that are just coming out of nowhere that it's like, who is this person? Then you go, oh, they're kind of nasty with it. They're kind of doing pretty well.
For sure.
Through the online side, we had Toast kind of just come up out of nowhere and then become like a super dominant hype.
Yeah. Tons of people in general, honestly.
Yeah, it's always great, always good. I love that I'm so glad that we can have mages. It's like, cool. I know every character is going to show up. I know it's like, oh, this guy's not here. Okay, so I guess we're not getting any Lundrekia.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we were literally just talking about like how many Wagner players
were
over here.
There's 3 of us here. That's the one thing. There's like 3 of us. But there's someone probably in the crowd that we don't even know that's cooking it.
Yeah, honestly. Dude, for the past few months, I've been trying to reorient with Uni 2. I'll hop in on looking for games like BC. And there's always going to be something crazy going on. Or you run into someone that's like, who are you and why are you whooping me today?
Yeah, right. And everybody's got some secret tech that they're just not sharing. You're like, wait, how do I deal with that? What am I supposed to do?
Okay. Dude, the amount of times I've run into different Eltnums that are always trying to, they're so cheeky with every other dive kick setup. I'm like, what is this?
Well, you saw that happen to me with the
dive
kick
reset. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, you got oh my god. Speaking of which, we got more Eltnums here.
Yeah, looks like we got Devlin77 and Velvet here on deck. Early start was going towards Velvet, but it looks like Devlin now regaining a little bit of that control, just constantly pressuring with stance slashes.
Right now, Devlin opting just back up in zone, keeping it pretty simple, honestly.
Yeah.
Cycle is in favor of Velvet, but so far that doesn't matter as much when you get absolutely clobbered here. A couple of green shields going well, but Jesus, just getting opened up once again.
I really like that shield right there, which it pushed it to be a little bit more even on that trade right there. Devlin did steal the cycle, but at the cost of now getting hit with this big combo.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things that you'll see come up sometimes, especially when you're in the first round against people. Learning how people play towards the cycle, especially towards the end, can really change. There's a big adjustment place. Ooh, 660 ending up connecting here. Yeah. This could potentially kill. IW is absolutely massive with damage. Doesn't opt to go into it.
Yeah, and missed the reload as well. Definitely getting a nice juicy Abare right there. Gonna work out great for them as long as they keep it tight. We'll close out the first round.
Nice. Things looking pretty solid here. And 200 meter for Eltnum, you could easily see a 2-1-4B get converted pretty heavily here. Going to be gunshot at round start. Jesus, and then sliced.
Yeah. Oh, but getting a nice throw off it, seeing that they're not going for anything after the crossing right there. But here we go. You see that EX gunshot confirm right there.
I'm not going to lie. I reeled back a little bit. I saw the whiff green shield. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe user's going to 6B or something right there. Gunshot.
Yeah, gunshot. They were ready for it. They had it out of pocket, and now they're finding these confirms again and again, finding these 2A hits, but not getting the full extension, but still using that CS in a very great way.
Right. Awkwardly dropped. Oh, no! That's pretty unfortunate. That definitely would have been able to kill here. You're going to have to play at the neutral a little longer, but the big trade ends up working in favor of Velvet.
Yeah. I love the minor adaptations you're already seeing between these two players being like, okay, I'm trying to figure out exactly what you're doing and how I want to space it out. Velvet, though, with that great early pickup.
Yeah, and that 214X is absolutely a menace. I know a lot of people sometimes like to walk back on it. Oh!
Yeah, there you go. So once you're in that close of range, the gunshot doesn't work as well because you're able to get those user flashes out a little bit quicker. Oh, that dive kick whiff was very scary, but Devlin ready to just take the turn back.
I'm not going to lie. That 660 this patch is absolutely bonkers.
It's scary.
Oh, wow. Challenged afterwards with the 2C. I wonder if they went for something else because I know Eltnum typically frame traps with 2-2A after the 660. So I'm not too sure what was up there.
Yeah. We'll have to see, look back at these replays later on. Here we go. Good charge right there. And we're seeing all these gunshot trades, but this is working out for Devlin more and more in the favor every single time the interaction comes up.
Right. And another thing that's been working out for Velvet pretty consistently is a lot of the green shields here. Devlin hasn't really been hard calling them out with some other options right now, so it's been very, very awesome for Velvet, especially in terms of calling out some defensive options. Speaking of which,
yeah, there we go. CS should be able to kill her here as long as we keep it tight.
Let's see, one more hit.
There we go.
Nice.
There we go. That's good. That's good. I like it. Just keep it tight, keep it simple. Like you see some people try to go for the saucy routes at the end. Be like, yeah, I want to show up, but never do that in tournament. You never know what's going to come up.
I have seen so many players try to optimize their meter usage when they have Vorpal to do a little. Oh, I have Vorpal. I'll do this CS into my super. Please just IW. Please just kill them. Please just kill them. I swear. Like, you know how many oh my! I remember watching. There was one particular time where it was Big Black versus Masoma.
I know
a Boston Blue beat like thing, and we'll get into that another time.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. There we go.
You guys are way better
there
than
we go.
me.
Nice reaction with the green shield right there. Going to be able to get the good break throw. So now keeping it locked down. I like this. Just little hit, reset pressure, try to take control back because you're finding opportunities like this again and again and again.
All right, this should be pretty good. Celestial available for the damage bonus, and besides, you might be able to honestly CS into a super, but hey, keeps it simple and opts to end it right there.
Because Velvet understands that you just want to keep it simple. You don't want to try to do anything.
They heard us complaining mid-set, and they said, I will just get it done.
Yep. Oh, good trade and a good pickup, but wasn't able to get the third slash out right there.
Oh my god, another counter hit coming in here. Not a ton of damage. Oh wow, that was a BDP too, not catching the recovery. With green shield and another with purple shield. Things not looking as great for Velvet here. Oh wow.
But both these players just constantly like whipping these shields. I think they're just trying to preemptively shield to gain advantage, like trying to like check their opponent out. But you're seeing it now work. Oh no, the 2-1 4C was too late off that combo, so it's not gonna connect.
Awkward hits here. Let's see, goes for the reload right there. 5-minute pressure, checking again. Yeah. I think they're really looking to TRM there. Oh no!
But we've seen it come up a couple times with Velvet where they've been getting these gold throws to work against Devlin, so maybe they're just not ready for it. Here we go. Keep it tight. Keep it simple. No!
2-way match? Oh.
Look, they wanted that Blaze Blue. They wanted that Blaze Blue that moment right there.
I
with that stare down.
There's sometimes you just like you're both just down back and you're like, this next counter hit will kill one of us.
Yes. One of us is going to die, and I hope it's not me. And, you know, that's what Velvet was thinking, and was able to fully close out this first game, make that step forward through the pools, trying to get closer to that Chipotle card.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if you're like, if one of your very first sets is on stream and you win, that's such a momentum boost.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like if I do that, I'm like, great. I just played nervous as hell. I don't even know if I'm warmed up. I could absolutely fumble, and maybe you'd feel some type of way, but being able to get that done early on is such a such a deep relief. Honestly.
Yeah, and you tend to see it with these people who play early who are maybe not as experienced competitors. They get further into that pool. Like almost like you can go back, you can watch, even if Velvet doesn't make it all the way, you're going to see them get deep into that pool. And I think a lot of that is this momentum carried from just getting all of the nerves, every possible nerve that you could have of 1,000 people watching you being like, hey, I'm going to mess up, and Twitch chat's going to make fun of me. But now I still got the win. It doesn't matter. And then you'll see them beat it again and again and again.
Yeah, for sure. And, we'll start seeing some more of the experienced players here who are, definitely a lot more used to that sort of environment and maybe are a little less nervous or feel like less of those kind of, boosts, right? There's a matter of, consistency, I think, that, sometimes comes in.
Yeah, we'll have to see as it gets further down because I think we're going to get more of these people that we don't normally get to see on all these uni streams, at least on these big stages, right? We get a... Further down, we'll get to see all our CGs and our big blacks we've seen in these top 8s again and again and again. But now we're going to have some players. We got Judge Mantis and Semi sitting there.
Gotcha. All right, looks like both players are pretty focused in. So let's see what characters we get. You can talk a little bit of shot.
You've seen a hover on a Chaos right now. You've seen a hover on a Chaos.
If it's a Chaos, I would be surprised if we see a Chaos this early.
You never know, right? A lot of people are like, this character is cool, right? It's the true puppet character of the game as well. Despite maybe not them being closer I always call them a Persona character. They're a little bit closer to, but we don't have to worry about that because we got Lene Batista.
Oh my! I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to expect here coming in here.
It's always going to be interesting, right? It also depends, you have to figure out on the bat end, how are they going to play? Are they going to be a little bit more sort of the older Claire style, or are they going to be fully shifted into that, heavy mix-up game that you need to really want Batista to be?
Yeah. We'll have to see. Right now, both players playing rather patiently, I'll be quite honest here. Should be the first cycle going right to Semi here.
Yeah, and just finding these hits wherever they can right now. Good green shield actually to space out, allowing Semi to almost try to take the turn back, but a good dive kick from Judge Mantis.
I wonder if Semi was expecting it to whiff there and maybe wasn't sometimes there are moments where you expect to be a block stun, and when you're not, your timing gets thrown off a little bit. Nice assault though, calling out the defensive throw tech coming in from Mantis here.
Oh, tried to air beam, but not going to work out. But the ground hit still does. And we're just getting damage wherever we can, right? Maintaining that cycle control, setting those gems to not allow Judge Mantis to get a little bit closer. But
And right now here, Semi just trying to play the ranges. And again, both players not really mashing very heavily on defense. You're seeing like pretty passive play from both players, I would say here.
Which is respectable. You know, that's a very like unique thing to do. Is just like try to hold and block everything. But as soon as you try to make one kind of mash attempt, if your opponent is ahead of you, they get a big counter hit like this that Judge Mantis should be able to use to close out the first round.
Yeah, things are looking good for Mantis here. I wonder, I'm not too sure, what kind of adjustments do you think Semi might want to make?
I think a big thing right now is they're playing very patient. They want to play more that like older like zoner style of Batista, but it doesn't work out, especially when the Lene player is ready to use that new follow-up, get through that projectile, and just land these hits again and again and again.
I literally looked away for half a second, and I saw Lene in like the recovery animation. I said, "Oh."
Oh, there we go. Nice B-draw. Actually had no follow-up to keep it safe behind it, but we're still able to make it work. And now just setting up C-beam, no A-beam, just want to go for jump set.
And it looks like Semi's trying to pop the gens a bit preemptively in order to catch Judge Mantis aggressing, but they've been able to. But Mantis in particular has been showing like a couple of hesitations in their approaches, which is working out pretty well.
And I think you do need to hesitate, right? Because especially with Lene, you're a little bit lower health. You're going to be able to, you know, blow a lot of it. Oh, tried to B-drill again, but there's two space out.
The walk back going to get it done. Let's see if this will kill. Looks like Mantis doesn't believe in the IW damage, going to end right there. Not quite getting a Helmbreaker Ender, but this is still looking fine. CS is available. Ooh, gold thrown here.
Yeah, no TRM though. You has still a CS, so you can keep yourself safe, but a nice 2A check right there. Not going to finish it though.
Oh, I think that might have been a charge that went Ari there. I could only assume that was maybe like a charge that went wrong. Probably.
Oh, big counter hit, but no pick up. So CS one more time. Protect out the gold throw.
Let's see, depending on the shields coming up here, that would definitely sway the cycle here. Let's see what comes up. Oh, the big counter hit. Yeah.
And I think this is now what you're going to be seeing from Semi. They're like, okay, I've been playing really passively, but I was like, I couldn't put them up in neutral. And now that I'm challenging, they're blowing me up for it. So I got to figure out a new game plan. Right? Are they going to revert back and maybe try to play even a little bit like more reactively than they were in the beginning?
For sure, for sure.
We're already seeing aggression come up for both players right now. Semi able to take their turn back now, just trying to rebeat, trying to get Judge Mantis to open up, but it's not happening just yet.
Both players trading offense here. Cycle is looking relatively even depending on this combo. Semi might be able to get the cycle away. Just barely gets it. Not able to do too much with it here, but sitting around with Vorpal is fantastic.
And I like that. Just back away from the gem, play that more passive way, force Judge Mantis to make something happen. And they used a lot to cover it right there, and they're using a lot of Assault right here to try to open them up, but Judge Mantis is blocking it out.
Oh, double jump to get out of there. Things are looking solid. Doesn't really get hit very much, plus on the throw tech. Things are looking fine. Spends the CS in order to stay in here. Cycle's most likely going to go in Semi's favor. No throws coming out here. Oh, but the low catches.
And another throw once again. Lene for a little bit harder to see, but now forced to block out. Throw whiffs this time, though, and now Semi getting a big hit.
Not sure if that microdash throw was maybe just a hair mistimed right there.
I like that. Just stagger play patient. You have a big health lead. You can make a lot happen with this, and you're baiting out the throw with the Assault right there. Excellent stuff from Semi to close out that round.
Nice job right there. And it's really interesting, right? Like as the games progress, like you're seeing how more and more like the kind of like the defensive throw techs or like the call-outs coming out a bit more often from Semi right there.
They're definitely like getting into that traditional like uni RPS and like slowly trying to make it fully work again and again.
For sure.
Their flash is finally coming out and now working for Semi.
Things are looking pretty decent. Cycle's in favor of Mantis, but this is fine.
Yeah, counter hit right here. We'll see if they get a big pickup drop.
Oh, no!
Unfortunately, the DP gonna connect.
Oh, nice call out on the purple shield. We've been seeing both players opt for shield in a couple of spacings, but that was a great call out from Mantis.
One more time. Yeah, great flash hit once again. Finally, I love this from Semi. Like, they've been holding their options slowly round after round around, then unlocking new things, making Judge Mantis, like, second guess every single decision that can be made. CVO into IW.
I don't know if that drops, though, because of that last hit there. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But it's still active. No.
It.
Oh, that's pain. That's pain.
Yeah.
That's suffering.
It happens to all of us once and then never again.
Literally, I was in call while like a friend of mine was like playing Enkidu a while ago, and they were like against phone on IW, and they were like, you need to know to parry this at the end so that you don't die.
Yes.
Okay, dashes under the ball. This is fantastic. Catches the recovery. Things are looking great for Mantis here. That's going to be the cycle. Probably 100 meter, honestly, at the end of it. Okay, keeps it simple.
Drops it now, has 100 meter, has the CS as well. The game, nice 60 on it as well. A great challenge right there from Semi to be able to set themselves out and now get to go back to zoning.
Yeah, things are looking solid. And Mantis is attempting to like go for a couple of shields at full screen in order to start stealing the cycle. But I think Semi's timings for like their zoning has just been a hair off for Mantis to really get that catch onto.
Yeah, if you're not ready to be on the exact timing of that player, it can be so scary. Now, Semi getting a big confirm right there, but no full follow-up with the IW to close it out. But we should just see an easy B&B take that one. Semi tying it up 1-1.
All right, things are looking even, and this is the kind of moment sometimes where the nerves are just flaring.
Yes.
Like you have like.
I was just there. I know exactly how
Yes.
these players feel, right? The nerves are, you're shaking a little bit. You're like, okay, I got to close this. I got to make it to the next round. We'll see who can let those nerves not hold them back as much.
Throw tech's coming out from both players right there, and I think that shows to me that they're like, oh no! These assaults from Semi, we have to run them. So
Yes.
how many assaults
Yes.
have Beta to throw at this point? Oh my god, Celestial too already.
But it's also great knowledge as well from Semi doing that, being like, hey, you're not doing anti-ROSs on your throws, so that means I'm way safer to do this.
Yeah, honestly. And I'm wondering if maybe Mantis might like opt for a bit more like force function in certain cases to maybe like check for it. But yeah, thus far it's been kind of like a consistency throughout this set here. Mantis now mounting the offense.
Staggering out a little bit more.
Buff frames.
Yeah, keep it nice block on the overhead.
Flash kick is still available.
Yeah, and I like the Helmbreaker CS recognizing like, hey, I gotta use this situation, keep my turn again by spending even more meter
Oh,
and finally
no.
finding the overhead.
They committed to the shield at the last second on the 5cc. That's so rough. Massive damage on the grid break. Not quite finishing up with that hit there, but things are looking fantastic for Mantis. CS, ADP, nice!
Yeah, there we go. Excellent stuff from Judge Mantis. Like you saw that get a little bit dicey towards the end right there, but kept it tight, kept it close to see if they can keep it once more. But right now, Semi taking their turn in the beginning of these games.
Juicy clips, not much coming up afterwards. Smart Seander, oh, still punishable even without the shield.
Yeah, I think Lene can punish it with that because she's got a little bit faster though.
Flash kick comes out here.
Oh, there we
disco
go.
ball. Oh,
Yeah, I know, this is great. So this, you can see Semi trying to go for some mix-up, but it doesn't actually end up working out. Judge Mantis finding their turn once again. And now you see them going for these classic Lene minus frames, trying to get somebody to press like that, but it's time to go into their favor.
and seeing the walk back there from Semi, I'm wondering how much like Mantis might want to start staggering 2C in some places to maybe catch that. But right now we're looking at potentially set point here. Big counter hit coming in for Mantis, and that will be the set 2-1.
Yeah. I like that, like, sort of kind of gambly flash kick, right? Like, you're like, okay, we've been staying very safe and very patient. I'm going to go throw out a wild card to try to get you. To be like, hey, I'm going to next level you at the very end. But you saw with Mantis, they just wanted to space themselves out. They're like, I'm good. I don't want to deal with any kind of weird thing that could potentially happen. And we'll use that to full effect to move on to the next round of their pools. Woo.
Yeah, we're already two sets in here, mind you.
Yeah.
And honestly, things are looking good. You guys can't see it yet, but we're seeing Big Dog, Mr. Shiro himself, taking the stage.
The bone of our sword himself.
Oh my god! If you recited the entire speech,
I need to memorize it. I need to memorize it.
Okay, yes. Yeah, actually, wait, hold on a second. That'd actually be really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I will commit to this bit. All right.
Yeah, so CG, if you've been watching Uni through the last little bit, you probably know him. If you've been watching Gundam, you might know him. If you've been watching a lot of things, he's one of the like younger kids. I think he's like 22.
He's like 21,
now.
I think.
He's a very young kid, local to my scene in the Pacific Northwest of the United States of America. Watching this kid go from like make it out of pools or consistent to like dominant threat in North America was just wonderful to see. And you saw him do that on Enkidu, a character who people considered a little bit weaker in the last version, and you think you would double down on that, but Kamode decided, I'm going to put CG into this game, and so now he's been, as far as I'm aware, he's been like full-timing Tsurugi, which is another character that like you're seeing a lot of people switch to for that sort of like mid-rangey, counter-pokey, aggressive game plan, and working wonders.
Yeah. And I remember like a couple of the Enkidu players kind of like looking at Tsurugi and being like, hey, this guy's kind of doing everything we do, but kind of better and safer, and we're already getting more damage, and it's been a week. That's awkward.
Yeah, there's definitely some similarities between the two characters, but I think you're seeing Tsurugi players trying to finally fit into their own stride, right? Like not using they got to use their parry function a little bit more aggressively, which is always nice.
We're seeing a button check here real quick. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any surprises there. Inside
If I saw the CG Lene, I was going to go out there and talk to him and be like, what are you doing?
You know how quickly I'd have to cover for you? I'd have to be like, all right, guys, this is unprecedented. Yeah, I guess I don't know why CG's doing this, but hey, guys, you know.
But they were playing against the Mizzet. I'm not super familiar with this player originally. It looks like they are playing Hyde, though, so we're getting the school, what is it, council battle?
School boys, yeah.
Battle.
Oh, my goodness. Keto Hyde, man.
Yeah. Keto what a character. What a character. 2FF?
I look at Garm's tweets half the time, and it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. But yeah, I feel like kind of the vast consensus around everybody is that like Hyde Keto in general is kind of like taking everything he had from his previous version and just kind of juicing up the reward
and then getting all that extra damage on top of it just through like DDP being a little bit higher damage in the game has really pushed his character to heights that we haven't seen traditionally before. But now you're going to see CG show all this rookie pressure go. Oh, the 2-1-4B not going to connect right there.
So looking solid for Mizzet, getting the throw here. Cycle is in favor of CG, gets the hit here. Big drop, but that's fine. 6-6B always there for the good times. Oh god, 6C.
And this is the big thing, right? You find these great hits and you get some incredible damage from it. Safe ender with J236C. Just keep it safe, trying to get Mizzet to like press anything, but they're just holding down back.
And one of the really things that can make it kind of annoying to like contest against Tsurugi is especially when he's doing BB pressure right at best range for like 2C to like activate.
Yes.
Like 2C, if you do not know how to handle mid-range 2C, especially in the corner, you will get dumpstered in this matchup, I guess.
And well, Mizzet right now is just very confident actually holding it, which is a valid strategy to try to deal with it. Just wait to deal with something else that they bring him to the table.
For sure.
Now you're seeing early hits going to their favor.
Oh!
CG gets the anti-air though, and will try to take it. Oh, no, bring back the screen.
Going for the hard knockdown here as well as the cycle for the smart surrender. 6-6B. Oh, maybe looking for a shield right there. Although I'd be a little surprised because normally I see like 6-6B and like 2-6A and then like a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see, how this layers further under the set. BDP's out of there, doesn't want to hold any of it. I like that 6-6C, just keep yourself safe because you have that CS right there anyways. And now sealing the corner, forcing CG to make a big decision, but you're getting a high corner combo.
And one really thing important to note, like about like the kind of cycle decisions right there, you saw CG immediately try to green shield on the 2-3-6C, and then Mizzet immediately opting for the throw, swinging the cycle like back in his favor for that moment there.
Straight up, 2-3-6C, stay plus right there, and they're really just trying to get Mizzet to challenge, but Mizzet's
he's looking for the green shield. I feel that. Oh my.
Yeah, just pressed right out of force function saves right there at the last minute, and Mizzet had the frame perfect timing on it.
Oh, that's 2-2-C.
Oh,
no!
You canceled too early!
Oh, pain. Plus frames.
Yeah, Tech's out, wanting that shield.
Up forward, JA. Crushing the throw, will also get over the 5A from Hyde right there. Smart decision.
Yeah, really, really smart, like, minor adaptation right there, because you normally don't, like, want to be doing that. It's a very scary thing, but with how Mizzet had been in that option, it's always scary. And right now, Mizzet is trying to be scary in the second game.
Couple of green shields working out very well for CG, and it really does feel like he's trying to be absolutely cognizant of some of the green shields from Mizzet, but I really love the way that he slipped it in there last minute to get the cycle. That resulted in that BDP and a couple of like offensive interactions with him.
Yeah, Mizzet's like great control this entire set has been super fantastic. And I think really he's helping him like get further into these games with CG.
So I'm wondering if CG maybe will like try to look for other opportunities to catch green shields, whether that's through like 2-4C or something else.
Yeah, we'll have to see, right? Right now they're just trying to keep their game plan pretty simple. 2-3-6C, state, keep yourself plus.
All right. Not proccing the green shield, swings the cycle, CS into the BDP. Great from Mizzet right there.
Just play patient. They have to come to you. They have to do something wild to open you up as well. But a counter at 2-3-6C is a pretty wild thing to do at that round start.
Round start, 2-3-6C, baby. What if I told you I could be plus and armor? Yeah.
Good old bionic arm round start.
I swear to God. I need to scream that sometime. Thank you for the note. I like the 2-2Xs coming out there for Mizzet, just kind of checking for a couple of interactions out there from CG. Couple of green shields.
Yeah, there we go. I like that. So CS off that where it's a little bit slighted in favor. Mizzet would normally try to keep the aggression back there, but CG wanted to make sure he could take that round. Here we go. Nice press with the 2D.
Should be able to finish off with there. It's just a matter of how much meter and if you fumble. Jesus, Tech comes out here. Looking for the TRM.
Yeah, just check with the 2A on the dash up right there. Mizzet had liked going for dash up a lot out of that corner because you never really want to hold it. It's always very scary.
Took the words from my mouth. I was about to point out like the 6-6Cs that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Throw comes out here. Cycle's probably going to go in favor of CG, looking for a throw or some other option, so like perhaps from Mizzet here.
Oh, but we're going to just see a 2A press right there. CG tried to, go a little bit delayed, trying to catch those shields or catch those DP attempts, making Mizzet panic a little bit. But right now, bionic arm working out again.
Caught the backdash, in fact.
Yeah. We got the full combo, unless we drop it right there.
Pain. Okay, great punish right there. Honestly, that was a really bold move to call out the the low press right there.
Oh,
great
yeah.
Force function.
You can't do that like that. Where you allow the if you allow that Tsurugi to just go into stance and punish you off of it, you're in for a bad time. As you saw the IW ender and CG taking that one.
Yeah. Honestly, so one thing I was expecting to see, I was really curious to see if like Mizzet was going to try to like change up some of their zoning, perhaps to like compensate for the force function right there.
Yeah, one thing that we didn't see at all was like neutral 2-2x or any neutral 2FF. We didn't see 2FF
Yeah,
at all.
so that's what I was literally about to say.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder, like, are you super worried about force function already? Because like, or do you think he's just gonna roll to maybe like get cycle or shield there?
Yeah.
But Mizzet ended up playing like around the mid range like pretty frequently. I won't lie. I think there was like a decent amount of interaction that still went solidly there.
Yeah, but it's just it was a limiting number of options that they were cycling through. There was tools in hide skit that they weren't pulling out that I think if they did would have had to force CG to play on their toes a little bit more, because you saw towards the end CG just got really comfortable with these like 2-3-6 Cs, those aggressive attempts, those just going into stance, double dash forward. Like he just felt really confident in being able to take control over that game, which if you had been showing all those other options may have forced him to make riskier decisions or more bold decisions that you could have led into advance. But still, great stuff from Mizzet. Like, listen, wasn't familiar with the player, but I'm pleasantly surprised, and I hope to see more of them.
Yeah, honestly. And again, we are still early in on the pool, so we're not seeing any folks and losers get knocked out quite yet. So we've got plenty of more action, and I'm sure that we'll see plenty of people come back up. We already got our next set coming up right here.
Yeah, so it looks like we got Alter and Nept Hazama coming up on deck.
Net Hazama.
Yeah. I was going to say Blaze Blue player.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
who's this person?
I'm like, what's going on here? But curious to see. I mean, okay, if they play Hazama, who would they
trying
play?
to say, what's the Hazama pick in this
There's
game?
really not a Hazama function in this game.
My mind goes to Seth.
Maybe Yuzu.
Yeah, I could see Yuzu, but I could also see the, like, if you want to play like the hypermobility character, right?
Yeah.
You would like lean towards like a Seth.
It also depends on how much. We'll see how much they like to press buttons. Some people like to do actions. And, you observe and you say, hey, okay, cool.
One thing I really like, this is sort of key to pick from some of the Blaze Blue name. Under Night, with how like fundamentals driven this game really is, you can see what games people came from and how that affects a lot of their decision making.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Pro tip: if you're playing against a Blaze Blue player, just TRM them 20 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Because so it's really funny because TRMs in this game compared to CF are so different.
Yes.
In the vein of jab pushback is a lot different. The way that you navigate around shield. So you'll like throw us like mad times and be like, oh, okay, well they didn't notice this, and then you get TRM.
Yeah.
I swear, every time I play somebody, and I'm like way too like fresh off of CF, and I like throw tech a bunch of times, and I'm not TRM'd, I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, ooh, I could have died, and then they assault JC me, and I'm like dying.
So that's something we may see. Like if they're like season of Blaze Blue, they might actually even be like that can affect a lot of decisions that do end up getting made towards this game. So,
dude, this game, I will say Uni, especially like when you're coming from a lot of other anime fighters in general, there is like for sure a fundamental aspect. There are certain things like very specific and unique to Uni that cause things to also like structure themselves a lot differently.
Yes.
Like the way that you navigate around like certain spacings or like certain options. And in general, like especially like just all the RPS surrounding throw crushes and your jabs, and etc. But it looks like we are. But kind of speaking of which, I would say Phonon in general not really doing anything that's like super insane, like specific to Uni. We'll see probably some crazy stuff like install super. For example.
Install is like her new big thing that she's really getting a lot of use out of, and we're seeing like Phonon. Like, it was one of those things at the beginning, it's like, okay, we're going to kind of just, like, ignore this and figure everything else out. And then it was like, oh, no, we actually have to understand the install because it's the most important part of her kit, like, within the new edition.
For sure.
We'll see how they can handle it, or if the Dictator slide from Neptazama right at the round start can work out for them.
Let me tell you, first thing I did when I played against my very first one, I hit the lab, I clicked 3C, I said, why?
Yeah.
I clicked 236A, I clicked 3C, I said, oh.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody did as soon as they opened up. You're like, okay, this is what we're doing. That's what Neptazama's trying to do with Alter, finding a great press at that full screen, or that mid-screen range right there. Which I think is going to be the range that they're wanting to sit at. You're going to be looking for them to stay right outside of the normal pillar ranges, because that's where Kuon can get a lot of advantage if you play into his game. If you play outside of it, you can get a lot of work done.
Ooh, not quite there for the rest of the confirm. Great shields right there in order to start, in order to keep the cycle. CS is available, gets hit by the 3C though.
I love that reaction right there with the whip press, just to shut down the forward teleport right there. And now just play the fireball game from full screen. Be like, hey, you got to come to me. You got to do something pretty crazy. And I think Alter's very good at just staying consistent. And I like that geyser, but Neptazama's already ready for it.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Unfortunately, it has not applied with some of these DPs coming out here from Alter. Still getting, like, honestly, the first big hit of this round. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then clipping him with the well. Now rolling him into the corner, and Alter just keeping the aggression down.
Oh, it's probably going to be like Sivo IW. Oh, you're absolutely dead?
Yeah.
Alrighty, things looking great for Alter in this game 1.
Yeah, staying super consistent, right? We never saw an opportunity, like, we never saw a drop. We never saw, like, a decision where it never felt like they weren't, like, ready for that situation. And you're seeing those guys in the early rounds. A lot of cool ones like the up back, so it's a reasonable option.
No, that is absolutely fair. 3C from downtown connects here. Another 3C. Not able to quite finish up some of the confirms from that distance, but things are still looking great for Alter. Neftazama already at under half health here.
Yeah, and that's just off of a couple hits here, some chip damage and like one combo. And this other counter hit should actually allow them to close it out if they build in a feeder.
Maybe it's CDP, not too sure. Okay, goes for the C-Rekka here. Not quite going to kill.
Yeah, scaled a little bit too high. But Geysers from full screen, willing to poke them out.
And this is surprising because we saw Neftazama honestly get away with a lot of interactions at round start. Oh my god, okay.
Just think about another Geyser right there, and then teleport coming through, but like not a big punish on that the like whip DP essentially.
Yeah, and I'm wondering because Neftazama also has access to 2-2X as well as like other projectiles. I know 2-2X is maybe a little slower than Geyser, but maybe they're a little less familiar with some of the ranges that Phonon can police with some of the Geysers here.
But they found an opportunity to get out with that jump with the deep air assault, and now getting reward out of it, just going for some basic flight Oki. Let's see, guys are going to connect.
Yeah, not quite there with the follow-up disc in order to set up for the high-low, unfortunately. Alter getting yet another hit here. Might be able to close out. We'll see. No CS coming up afterwards, keeping it simple. Throw connects, and the full throw will get it done. 2-0 for Alter.
I like that from Alter. Like, it's always with UD2, you can never be too certain if that CEO is going to kill with all the chips and scaling changes that have come through. So might as well just keep it simple. Go for one more reset. You've already been very confident, very aggressive in those sets to open them up. You're probably not going to get reverse swept from that game.
For sure. Like, I think, like, especially if the life lead has such a big disparity, like, if you are that concerned about something dropping, just keep it simple.
Yep.
And, like, yes, it's not going to kill them. Is the Oki good? What are my options here? And, now that I'm really thinking about it, we didn't see much of, like, Flash Kick come out from Hazama at all.
We saw it once, and it worked, and then it was never brought up
Yeah.
again. But also the stuff that the Phonon was doing was not necessarily like DP range, right? It was very trying to stay outside of that flash kick range because they know how scary it is to deal with against Kuan.
For sure. But interested to see. And again, like, to kind of speak more towards what we were talking about earlier, Tabby, with like some of the character diversity here. Like, we have yet to see a single repeated character.
Yes.
In this pools.
We're in 3 games now and 6 unique characters.
Yes.
And potentially more unique characters with our players who are coming up on deck. So we got Javi versus Eswanon? I'm going to butcher this.
We'll figure it out. It's okay. It's okay. These things happen.
Yeah.
It's how many times? Oh my god! I'm just thinking of net play brackets when everybody puts on a stupid. You know how many times I've had to say Burn Castle.
I don't give them the benefit of the day. I just say what it is. I just call them because I know who you are and I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
we literally had this. We had a little bit of this when you were talking about knots.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, ugh.
That always comes up. The amount of people you like say their name and then people go, who you go? That makes me go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like this is a very uni thing where people mad people know each other by their first names.
It's coastal. I found it's very coastal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
West Coast, everybody kind of just calls each other by their first name, right? But then East Coast, everybody calls each other by their tags.
Yeah. It's very tag heavy here on the East Coast. I will say that.
Which I always find it interesting. It's like one of those weird cultural things that's there's no rhyme or reason. There's no right or incorrect, but
I still remember way back, not even way back in the day. I'm not old, but I remember popping in and introducing by both my name and tag, and then most people around Boston area where I hail from would just go by tag.
Yeah. See, I get the fun game of going. So what's your name? Tabby. Okay, what's your tag?
You'll never get this. You'll never get. Oh, Wagner.
Oh, let's go.
Wagner Gaming?
Yeah. So Javi is playing Wagner. I wasn't certain if they were going to be playing them, but always good to see a good grid break throw early on right now into the session. Esperon trying to make it work, but Javi just staying super consistent.
All right, should be able to end with a buff of choice. Goes for the 2-2A. These are looking absolutely solid here. Ooh, and already, one thing that I like that Javi is doing is that they're establishing the 2-1-4X spacing where it's plus very early on.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that you want to do early on for that to try to make the Lene player pull those force functions, because you can force function on reaction and blow them up for doing it. But if you are correct in your timing of like messing with the timing to get them to blow up, it's a great situation for the Wagner player.
Oh, for sure. And I think it also tells you a lot about people's green shield habits, right?
Yes.
there.
Oh my god.
Like the amount of green shields you start noticing, like after 2 and 4, and then you just repeat into nothing, dash up and say, hey.
Yeah, and Javi doing a great job of actually just completely controlling the airspace right now from Epsilon. He doesn't try to go for it, assault out. He's trying to jump out, trying to do anything to get out of there. But Javi has just been dominating the skies and the ground on any attempt.
Yeah, and I think Javi's also putting on like a very good display in general. 6 FF, baby. That button has done me wrong so many times. I'm so not good at using it.
It does you wrong, but it does you right once, and it becomes your best
It does
friend.
me. Honestly, it's really a me thing. I'll be quite honest. I won't I do it every time someone's assaulting, and I'm like, oh right, and then I'm like,
Misses 6 of C at the very end. It's always a little bit tight, but that 5B will be counter hit right there. That's what Epsilon trying to make something out of that pressure situation.
One more hit is sure to kill here. 2-2-Cs for double buffs here. Absolutely chilling out. Again, I really like the spacing there.
Yep.
Like just the way that he's just checking for some of the defensive options, not trying to risk it or go super crazy with either like a 5B or a 6-6C, keeping it simple.
You just have to play very passive against these players who are trying to do anything to get out of these situations. Now, Epsilon just blocking, holding it down, trying to figure out, okay, how do I actually get out of this? Can I shield you out of it? Can I press you out of it? No, you can't in this situation. Javi fighting another big confirm.
Yeah, and you see the hesitation right there with the 2-1-4-A, really checking again for like some of these defensive options. Finally coming out with the CS gear.
Yeah.
Let's see what Non's got.
And that CS was actually super important because Javi did go for the burn route right there. So you're going to take about an extra 1k damage and just shift.
And dude, and with that like 2-2-C change where like the enhanced 2-2-C like is a guaranteed art knockdown, absolutely fantastic. A little too close to the corner there, so the 2-1-4-A not going to work out. No shields coming in from Non and gets clipped by the 6C there.
The 6C is always like, it's the classic slover head. You never think it's going to hit, and then it always does.
Dog, oh my god. Every now and then, 6C is such a... 6C to me is very emblematic of a lot of things in Uni, where like, I think if you come from another game, you're like, oh, okay, this is my overhead, it's slow, but I'll use it to mix. And then you kind of look at it again, and you're like, oh, I'm low crushing a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's closer to Greed Sever than it is like a traditional overhead.
Yes, that's actually a really
a Kai player, you know?
Yeah, I would play Jam. I not.
You gotta get on that. You gotta hit all 3 Arcs' titles, and you gotta play Grand Blue now to hit all 4.
Oh my! One of these days. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I remember very distinctly when I knew I'd be a Jam player when I watched my local JMD play, and he did Ryujin, YRC Ryujin, and I was like, ah.
Oh my goodness. Well, you'll have to see some of that on some other streams because we got Under Night happening here. But before we get back to the Under Night, we got a couple ads to roll through. So make sure to check those out. Check out our lovely sponsors and stay tuned for more Under Night action. And welcome back to Under Night here at Combo Breaker. Thanks for tuning in to the wonderful ads we have. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Shout out to Tweedo being here with me on the mic.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Shout out to us, and shout out to the players.
Shout out
who are
to
here.
shout outs.
Yeah,
all right. Let's go.
So we got our players on deck coming up for our next set of games. One of them you know, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Jackie Sparkles?
Jackie Sparkles is that dude. If you're in Boston and you are always looking for a smile or a hug, there is always Jackie around. Oh, he's even shouting out at UGC. Let's go, Boston. Let's go, Boston.
Let's go, Boston.
Let's go, Boston. I'm going to be biased. I'm going to say it flat out. I'm going to be biased. I want Jackie to succeed. Absolutely. I will not be rude. I swear, but I'm biased.
Well,
Jackie's great.
You're going to be biased for Jackie. I got to be biased for Professor Pizza right here because he's got a dope trail shirt on there. I'm just diving into that. I got to rep. It's where the real good fighting game players earn themselves in there in that hashtag play trail. Shoutouts to Ray. You know who you are.
Oh my god! Like there's a solid 5 group. Like there's a solid pot of 5 people I know that.
Yeah, and they're all using players.
Oh my god! Yeah. Trails people do. It's
around. It gets you better fighting it. That's all I'm saying. So let's see if Professor Pizza can do it, or if they can tackle Jackie Sparkles.
We'll see how it goes right here. Jackie on the Merkava versus the Sarugi here.
Yeah. So this is an interesting matchup. We saw CG play Sarugi a little bit earlier, but Merkava actually can space themselves out in a way that deals with force function really well and keeps themselves safe. So it'll be interesting to see how they want to adapt their Sarugi play, adapt their mid-game play to try to take on Jackie. But right now, 2-4-A going to connect.
2B pressure going to work very well. That 2B, oh my god, we're going to talk about crank buttons. That thing is absolutely nuts.
And I like this one for us because trying to dash off, trying to play really patient, wait for Jackie to make a mistake. But Jackie caught in with the flight early, gets the early C-worm set. We'll see how they deal with it.
Keeping it simple here. 60 actually catches the up back from Professor Pizza here. Oh, backs up, tries to commit to shield, and just opts to back off. I like this from Jackie here. Just taking it easy right now. You don't really need to interact, so why not just kind of take it easy? But the 6-6B will come up. CS into the 236C. Fantastic stuff there.
Check those red flashes. Always try to punish it where you can. Take those rems, spend that meter. You build it up so much, just like Professor Pizza does with the bionic arm. Finding a big route off of it as well.
Yeah, that's a ton of damage right here. Oh,
you're getting grid broken to the bank after the early big hit and a counter hit to a Jackie trying to get out of this. He's like, I don't want to hold anything you're doing, but Professor Pizza keeping it really tight.
But yeah, some of these the stackers from Pizza coming out very well on here. Let's see what comes up. Backdash once again on the 6-6B. And I'm wondering if Pizza might opt to still 2-3-6 despite, like, Merkava's backdash range.
Yeah, we just saw it right there, right? Trying to come in, try to capitalize on it. But Jackie was even getting their backdash, just space out of it. Didn't want to hold any of it, and then has to hold this pressure. Has the boys coming into town. Worm going to be opening you up with the overhead.
They're looking pretty good. CS available. Drops a confirm, but that's A-OK. Oh, wow. Just set the... I think that was IC 22X.
Yeah, that backdash was crazy. All right, you get the block on it, but no punish.
I think I wonder if Pizza was a little afraid that they were too far for the throw punish.
Yeah. You saw them try to go for a dash throw right there, but Jackie just ran away from it as soon as they got out of that -4.
Oh, God. 6-6B anti-airing. And I like the spacing from Jackie, trying to adjust right there with the 2 and 4 X's, just sending out a couple of fireballs here.
Doing anything, and now Pizza goes in for the stance, finds the follow-up into the IW.
And this is with Vorpal, not much scaling, but doesn't end up killing here.
Oh, but you will get the punish this close. Even gets the shield, had it ready to get the 6 frame on.
You don't got to shield that.
You don't have to shield it.
Why did you shield that?
But he didn't go for anything fancy. Had the shield, but didn't go for fancy. Just go for throw because they knew it would give them the round and bring them up 1-0 over Jackie right now.
Ends with the 236X, backs off right here. JV ends up connecting. Things are looking good. Oh, 6-6B. 6-6B's been connecting a lot. I'm not going to lie.
It's very hard to see, right? It moves you forward because the removal of the echo trails behind it right there. Oh, caught with a 2-2 overhead. It gets people way more than you
think. Every time. Look, we click Wagner or like ICFF.
Yeah.
It could be you. It could be me.
It could be you. And right now it's Jackie as they're getting hit with everything right now from Professor Pizza. Do a nice 2A, catching any kind of match attempt out of the meaty.
All right, keeping the combo very simple and going for the IW here.
And killing with it, has that Vorpal, got that extra like 300 damage off that gear. Exactly enough that they needed to close out the round. And now you see the aggression being, hey, I'm going to close the gap. I'm going to force you to do something a little bit wild. And you're seeing these flights try to work, but you're still able to connect with that full counter hit.
Yeah, Jackie's having a hard time adjusting to like just the absolutely hot. Whoa! Okay, that was not what I was expecting.
Beating out Dive Kick Super as well. Oh my goodness, good tech out of the gold throw. That ain't real, but the CDP after it is.
Absolutely. That comes out. Oh, nice round. No!
Yeah, punishes the roll as well. Should be able to close it out as long as you keep it tight. No, you dropped it. That's my fault.
CS, not enough meter, I think. Oh, but the grid break throw.
Yeah. I think they did have enough meter, but I think the startup on it with where they were was going to be just like let it hit the ground and just block it due to the EX flash.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's always a little risky to go because that's even for comments risk. You go for those EX reversals because your opponent can set themselves to be a little bit safer with that extra pause buffer.
Unfortunate, but love Jackie. Yeah. Shout out to Jackie always.
Still put up a good fight, right? Your Professor Pizza though is just like constantly again and again. Like you saw with the sequence right there, the bionic arm into the immediate grid break. That's when I knew I was like, oh, this guy's ready. He's gaming. He's booting up the controller, got the headset flipped down. He's ready to go. Mountain Dew cracked open. Got Domino's. He's Professor Pizza.
It's double XP weekend for Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I think it is. I'm not too
sure.
No,
he's getting the Final Fantasy codes.
Yeah.
Trails guys got to get the Final Fantasy 14 codes for drinking the Mountain Dew. Send them to me. My DMs are open.
But yeah, I think another thing that was really good to talk about, one more thing on the set, was the dash up 3C.
Yes.
That one, we didn't get the chance to really talk about that since things were moving so quickly. But when I saw that dash up 3C, I was like, okay, this person's like really trying to like be cognizant and call out some of these like up back flights.
Yes. And you saw them trying to figure out different ways to do it, but they saw success with that 3C1, so they're like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing this again and again. And it was always working out perfectly.
For sure. So coming up next, we got the big man himself, Psychotic.
The weakest Bochi the Rock fan. Psychotic. That's what he calls it. That's what he calls it. The weakest Keizoku band. I think it's Keizoku band. It is. Or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. But they're fighting Mouse. Not super familiar with what they are. Is Joe? Okay, they're a Southeast St. Louis player. Okay, they're a Dengeki head, according to the little voice inside our heads.
I don't know Dengeki too well. I just watch TG play and sometimes phone. I'm more lie. I look at Quenter clips and I'm like, oh yes.
Dengeki is, it's still a French word game, right? You have to understand those fundamentals, and a lot of that stuff does transfer over. That's why you see people who do play Dengeki do well in these games as long as they put the work into it. They're going to be playing our wonderful rat Linné versus the Waldstein. I wasn't sure if he was playing Aurier or Wald coming into this because he's been talking about both. So you never know.
But keeping it on the wall right now and showing that ICJC early. We'll see a bit more of that come up depending on what Mouse's future interactions are for. It may look a little silly at first, but it is really, really good.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Nice green shield right there, and finding a great punish. Something that you don't normally see too much from Wald, but finding a big gap on Mouse, just keep it consistent.
Gets into the God Press as well with this confirmed.
Great jump out. You saw them wanting to go for the throw there as well, so Mouse had the right player reads. Yeah, you can't do that. That is free for Waldstein.
Looking pretty decent, trying to poke out with a couple of these normals. Oh!
Yeah. Body slash CS always going to be what Joe's looking for. He does it again and again and again. And he saw with the punish on there as well with the C. Command grab one more time. Doesn't kill.
Oh, wow. I thought that was, yeah, maybe because he didn't get the double circle.
Yeah.
I think if he got
720 it would have, but he was just looking for dash 360 because you think, oh, this is going to kill you. It's such low health, but you're sitting there with 2. Yeah.
And you can see the ways that Psychotic is really trying to stay up on the playing field with regards to Mouse's approaches.
Yes.
Mixing in a lot more of up backs as well as the body splash and a couple of other tools. One thing that Waldstein has that is rather surprising sometimes for a grappler is his ability to flex air options in order to call out some aggression.
Yes, you saw there with the 60C trying to do anything to open him up, and now the J60 connecting right there.
And that's a really big thing that Waldsteins will do in order to look for your green shields right there. They'll assault in with that, check for green shield, and then immediately 360.
Yes. And it's something scary versus a lot of characters, but versus Wald especially, you have to be very cautious with your shielding and playing a little bit tight. Great confirm right there from Mouse, stopping all these air options from Psychotic. Now opening them up, back up once again. Oh, but the big connect right there with the anti-air.
Orpal as well. Probably not going to spend CS here. Likely just wants to get a solid knockdown. Going to go for the God Press. Corner pressure active. Goes for clap CS.
Oh, good Rising JA. Just gets out of it. Doesn't want to have to hold any of that kind of pressure. And even if you trade, you end to be pretty safe. Throw whiff right there. Body slash CS going to allow them to go back full screen. And now power guys are down.
And if we want to talk about new tools in this game, this 2-2X is wild. Did you see the clip from Untold when he was he put out a clip of anti-disperse and then 2-2X just beating it flat out?
Wald needs it. That's how you beat the zoner matchup. But Mouse right now trying to be the aggressor, forcing Psychotic to be a zoner, not wanting him to do a whole lot. Now just staggering in these pretty safe situations.
Psychotic playing it awfully patient here. Maybe got caught, I think, on startup with Assault. Not too sure here.
Yeah.
Frame trap works out very well for Mouse here, and things are looking decent. Get that round on the board, trying to stay alive.
One thing that's interesting is Linné is always a character that wants to stay around that -2 range. He's always trying to press around that. But Waldstein can't press it though. His buttons don't work at that. So Mouse actually being able to create these larger gaps, which will have even dirtier mix-ups that will force Wald to try to guess in those situations is very, very good for the progress of his match.
Yeah, Waldstein having, I believe, 8-frame 5A is a really big thing that changed the context of a lot of rounds here. So we've seen Psychotic opt for a couple more throws. I really love the bait right there on the Assault normal going in for the command grab. It's got the 720 as well for the bonus damage. Let's see what comes up next here after this combo.
Yeah, I think you're going to just be seeing EX swipes hard knockdown, has the CS as well, might body slash CS, no, with swipe CS, trying to catch him open and getting a great counter hit right there.
And mind you, Mouse going for that 2C there makes sense. Linné 2C is absolutely fantastic, especially when you're
nice time kick OS right there to get out of there with the 1.
Good heavens. It's party time.
This is what Mouse needs to make the full pull out into this next level. Gets the break up the low.
All right. 200 meter to go. Not going to be able to kill off of this situation. Doesn't go for the Helmbreaker. I think they messed up their TK.
Yeah, I think that's what they were looking for, but didn't get it right there. Saw the green shield, but couldn't make it happen. Yes, once again, nice VO. Nice VO. Just get out of the situation, but finds the overhead.
And that VO was really smart, getting the Vorpal Strip Mouse as well right there, so no CS available to check for a couple of interactions here.
But also important that you force Joe to use that meter at the very end, right? He doesn't get to take it into this game and now has to build it back up while you got to stay a little bit higher. But it's going to be slowly building up to let these grabs go again and again.
Going for the JC now finally. Checking. Oh, that was a green, that was a gold throw as well.
I think it was just a little late. Oh, body clash CS keeps himself safe.
Oh, God. This isn't going to kill, but this next knockdown is going to be crucial. This will decide the set and Mouse's potential losers run. Oh, no!
Yeah, Judges keep it tight right here, and they will with the 2-1-4. You saw that them going for the reset, recognizing that next confirm. Because you were talking about, oh, this next combo will kill. But you saw the walled starter that came out. It's actually not one of the good ones. So it's a very low damage combo that you get out of it. So they tried to go for a 360 reset to just close it out. But even whiffed out of there, gave them Mouse another chance, but just couldn't close it out.
Yep. And, you know, right there, we got the chance to see, honestly, the power of Walled Steed.
Yes.
Dude, so I played it, I'm not going to lie. I keep, like, talking about myself in some way. I played against Hana. Jesus Christ. This wall scene character is a little crazy. And Psychotic, also crazy.
Yes, yes.
Dude.
One thing I love is, like, Psychotic and Breaker Dave were two people who were very early adopters of, hey, this walled scene guy's really good if you actually just play super fundamentally sound Under Knight. And you get a lot of reward off of him because of that. Because you think of a person like Psychotic, they're a Carl Clover player. Why is the puppet guy playing the big body grappler in this? It's because you just have to play super fundamentally sound, and you get such great reward out of it, and get put into such great situations, like you saw with all those, like, 360 setups, the whiff swipe CS setups, any body splash CS setup.
Yeah. Oh, so we're seeing, we're gonna see yet another new character here.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, when he's not being mean and trolling me, I that guy.
Yeah.
Byakuya, Quenther player, Naruto/Taokaka player extraordinaire.
Yeah. One of the long time uni people.
Oh God, yeah, like
EO?
mad long.
EO?
I want to say EO.
I would say yeah.
I definitely.
One of the old heads in the room now. Like 600 person tournament, 500 of them didn't start playing until ED2.
Yeah, one of Georgia's finest out here. And what was it? He was talking about, I know that there's somebody in this pool that he knows, and he was tweeting about how he wants to practice so that he can cook them. I remember this very distinctly.
Well, I hope they got to cook them, or, you know, maybe we'll cook them afterwards in some casual sets that will be going on until the break of dawn. But up against them is going to be Mikado.
Cool. I am less familiar with them. I don't know.
It's a name I've seen around. Okay. Like, I've seen them in some online brackets, but I don't think I've, like, actually seen them play. Okay, this is winner side make it out, so they're putting in the work and putting in the prep. We'll see what they can do, and they are playing Tsurugi.
So this should be interesting. I haven't gotten the chance to see this matchup very frequently, but just like looking at, like, think about both characters' plays too, it should be very interesting.
Yeah, it's one of the things you already saw Ida go for a ground set on the web, which you want to do because that does catch the force function attempt. But if you just go for normal air web sets like you would do versus other characters, they just force function right through it, and it makes that part of your neutral game a little bit less good. But you see, it doesn't even matter right now. You land one hit, you're keeping them in the corner. They got to hold the spider jail.
Doesn't offer any kill setup, just sets up two webs and just absolutely chilling out. If that is an Under Knight moment where you're just standing right there, especially for Byakuya.
Yeah. Oh, nice use of the force function to be able to get out of the corner.
I'm actually shocked that they didn't get clipped by, like, the high web on the recovery.
I agree. Like, it was just based like 1 pixel away from getting hit. That's crazy. Bionic Arm is a great round start when it works just like that. Fully connecting them in down. But
no, not quite there on the knockdown. And this is sure to be another set of webs right there for that guy.
Yeah, has 200 meter on deck. Like, probably doesn't want to catch that IW this early. Yeah, just web set 1, 2, 3. Now hold him out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually like that use of the BDP. But no.
I think I messed up there. They either missed a dash macro or their dash. Yeah. Because I saw them walk up. Big drop.
Resets, but doesn't pick up off of it. Good tech out there.
And off the throw tech just immediately.
I like that gold throw setup that you saw them go for, because you were just surrounded by webs and other hits and stuff. Your gold throw was very hidden behind all that, but even Mikado was ready to try to tech out of it.
6-6-B! I saw TG reel his head back on getting hit there.
I would as well. That 6-6-B was crazy. Oh, but a good 2B clipping him out right at that tip range.
2B and 2C and, like, a ton of other buttons, you really have to be very cognizant of how Byakuya is staggering and, like, watch how you walk back. ADPCS?
Yeah, knew that they were spacing it out right there, kept himself safe. Now he's holding this pressure. Nice overhead right there. Not able to get the full hit right there because it's a little bit difficult. Good tech.
and this pressure is getting a little greedy. We're seeing Mikaido opt for like a bit more of the 236A into force function, and that has a lot of startup action. So you, like, if your opponent is a little more passive and they're worried about like the 236A follow up there, like you can use that a lot of times to like reset into stance and continue RPSing. Oh, no throw break right there on the green shield.
Yeah, wasn't fully ready for it now. Just having to hold it through. There you go. Finds the force function over that air web set, which is what they were looking for earlier. But that guy keeping it tight right now.
And I like Mikaido like opting to go for it a bit more. So I'm really curious to see maybe if TG kind of like checks for the spacing and starts placing a bit more PBs in order to check for that right.
Yeah, we'll have to see, right? Because are they going to go for it and then try to punish it, or are they just going to maybe avoid that option because they don't want to deal with it and space out into different tools that were working very successfully before that moment. But still, that guy keeping the pressure up, forcing Mikado to make these really bold decisions to get out.
Oh, but the lower web set from the air. Oh,
yeah. Oh, people forget you can do it from pretty high up, and it will always catch those toes.
I think he missed it.
He did. He definitely missed.
Yeah. Oh, big trade. Things are looking fine. A couple of whiff green shields, but Mikado's not been able to quite capitalize on. I like them going for a bit more of the like door crush after stance. Not quite able to convert.
Yeah. Ooh, this is
gonna be 200 meter actually. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, with that assault right there off the hit, getting Celestial as well. So even if they had more health, that was gonna deal a truckload of damage. And that guy proving themselves to be that guy by making out winner's side of their pool.
Moving absolutely forward, and we don't get the chance to see like TG pop up like super frequently.
No. Oh, look. Holding up, soaking it in.
Oh man, the myth, the legend. But yeah, again, like TG does not like really popping in for like a ton of online brackets.
No.
But it's always nice to see him pop up.
Yeah, it's always like I feel like they're at a lot of the offline stuff though that we see coming around.
Oh, for sure.
So it's some people don't like the online tournaments. I get that. They don't want to dedicate 5 nights of their work week dedicated to in the labs.
Oh yeah,
but
I think is this? Okay, yeah. So this is Glacy coming up here actually next. So we're gonna see a bit more regional representation. TG hailing from around like the Atlanta area, and we're now switching off to Midwest, Mid-Best as they say, with Glacy, the Michigan Phonon player.
Yeah. And one of those people that you've definitely seen like. I feel like if you were watching a lot of Under Night, it's a name that you saw frequently. It was never a name that Glacy was. I feel like at every event.
Yeah, Glacy does show up.
Like I'll be looking at an event. It's like, oh, this is event in Puerto Rico. Oh, Glacy's there. Sure. Right. Yeah, it's always good to see more Phonon gaming, more people putting in the work. And it looks like they are playing against Axon. I'm not familiar with. You familiar with?
I'm not familiar with.
But they've got a massive the fermenting Greg's hat, so you know what? They're tight with me.
Oh, okay.
They're tight with me.
Is that a band?
Yes, it's like a.
I feel like I'm so sorry. I felt like my mom asking like, is that music band?
Yes, they're like a Japanese rock band.
Oh,
they're good. A little bit slower, like a little good. Definitely give them a listen. They're on tour. They're doing an American tour this year.
Oh, okay, got you.
I already got my tickets.
But I'm thinking, okay, but like in terms of Japanese artists, I was thinking of like catching Asarashi Gakko because they're in October.
Yeah.
So they're all over the place around like New York and like East Coast. Anyway,
yeah.
We talk about Japanese artists.
We talk later.
Yeah. But honestly, I would say Glacy, generally speaking, in the Midwest area, like around Michigan, has like a lot of great players, like especially folks like Miller 2B.
Yes.
Sometimes folks like Jushichi will come up from Ohio to like to pop up there. So
and a lot of the Michigan guys started going down to the Toledo event. So there's a middle ground between like the Eastern Ohio and then the Michigan people, getting a nice neutral stomping ground and really like putting in the grind. Glacy also one who was grinding online constantly. So.
Yeah.
Really good to see. And they get to play against Wagner, though, which is always a little unfortunate for the Phonon player having to deal with this matchup. But Glacy's has dealt with it before and can deal with it again. Let's see what's happening with Axon. Trying to make something happen, but getting hit early on.
Good feather low here. Things are looking solidly right here for Glacy with the first interaction of the round going in their favor. 6-6B connecting. Things are looking fine. One big thing that you'll notice, especially with Meanie 2, is that when you have early momentum, things are very much so in your favor, especially with the meter game differential.
But you have to keep that momentum up because there are ways that you can see people try to steal it out from under you. Oh, thought a fireball was coming, so went for the preemptive force function.
I wonder if it's either that or maybe like a 6-6 FF.
Yeah, it could have been that and just like didn't get the 6 input with it at the very end. I drop that all the time.
Oh my god, I feel, dang it, we're doing it again.
We're doing it again.
Two Wagner mains on commentary. Now I'm like, maybe the Wagner wanted this, or this. Oh my god.
Well, you know what? We'll talk with Action afterwards because right now they're finding these 2 A's to be working into their favor. Connecting it once more and just keeping it very tight. I'm loving their pressure early on, getting that perfect 2-1-4 A spacing, making it work with a double overhead. That's 30 frames from high that you did not block.
Oh, you believed in yourself too, because you just canceled right into
Yeah.
That's when you're like, I don't know, this is probably it.
Yeah. That's keeping that confident energy that you need in some of these matchups. Nice raw VO. Just get out of here, take the cycle as well.
Yeah, and Glacy had already shown the hesitation there, like looking for a defensive option, but Axon had delayed it just long enough that Glacy wasn't expecting here. Whoa, really good hits coming in here. That veil-off timer is sure to be gone by the end of this confirmed too.
Yeah, here we go. All right, keeps it up, and now just keep trying to make something happen, but Axon ready to BDP, and finding a nice counter hit 5A. Glacy forced the guard just out.
Couple of shields here from Axon, and there's the first instance of that install super that we're seeing here today. Couple of hits here, and Glacy ends up taking the rest of game 1.
Yeah. I really like the install being, we were talking about it early, being a very important thing she has. It makes her Rekka game like a lot scarier to actually deal with. But Axon ready to just say, nah, that happened last game. I got to go into this game. Early grid break, keep myself safe, try to use those plus buttons. Looking good here. Good tech out.
Off the block, but not quite ready for the fireball follow-up there. Things are looking decent for Glacy. Got the cycle, but the veil off from Axon once again, removing Vorpal from Glacy. Gets a throw as well, and that will swing the cycle in their favor.
Burning the charge as well with the VO to get a little bit extra. Like, really smart decision-making and recognition of the cycle right there. All right, nice, reaction tech on the throw right there.
I love that throw bait from Glacy. That was chef's kiss.
So dream right there, landing it again, and gets the taco mix up. Oh my goodness. Guys, once again,
oh no! I wonder what move came out right there.
I think that it looked like the startup of 2-1-4C.
Okay.
It looked like the startup of 2-1-4C, which I get if you're going to go for fireballs, use the fireball invuln move, but it's not going to work out when Glacy's already prepared for it. Another great assault JC right there for Axon. This has been so on point this whole set.
Couple of shields coming out here from Glacy. Let's see what Axon does to try to adjust here. And mind you, there's not a lot of green shields that are going out of favor for Glacy. She's been able to offer green shields at timings that Axon has not been able to police with some reboots and redashes.
And that's what you need to be doing, right? To take this to the advantage. Kono not really having the tools to get out of some of these situations like others do. Found that fireball, but couldn't find a full connect. And Theo just once again going to work out great as they get off me button, take control, and now just stagger out.
Throw comes out, going successfully here. Not quite there for the delayed wake up here.
Had a minor walk forward up. It's actually got a side 12 off of it. Here we go, Glacy. Find that big opening that you've been looking for.
200 meter to spare as well, trying to go for a mix. No! Maybe miss input right there after the CS. That was surely supposed to be a TP.
Yeah.
Great force function, immediately canceled into the 2-1-4.
Yeah, recognizing that. Going for B-drill set, wanting to take the corner into their side. CS, keep yourself safe. Good VO, just get off me. No mix, not holding that.
Glacy not really opting for much. In terms of the reversal department, Glacy not opting for too much EXDP. We've seen a lot of honestly just wake up 6 speed.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, right? Those DPs are a little bit scarier for Photon to be pulling out again and again. So Axon now just blocking the pressure, holding me okay, gotta wait for my opportunity to fully get in. Tried to JC, but Glacy already preemptively pressing and ready to keep the momentum going in their favor, which they need to close this round out.
6FF comes out. Oh no, the DPs, but Wagner ends up recovering first. Great presence of mind from Glacy, but unfortunately, still the wrong decision, sadly.
Yeah.
Ball comes out here from Axon. Doesn't opt for the shield buff.
And I like that. You shimmy, concrete, you already have it. Get these charges where you can. Glacy teching out of the throw. And now Axon using that to build the cycle once again into their favor. Will lose it on this next one. Force function gonna connect right here.
All right, sword buff, but not quite there. This could very well be the last confirm and put Axon on the board here.
Yeah,
goes into the IW.
Keep it simple. Get that IW. Get that 4K. Take it. And now Axon putting a point on the board.
Yeah, a couple of drops and a couple of shaky moments from Axon, but they're still able to pull through and get that game on the board.
They are still breathing. You saw that deep breath come out when we cut back to them. And so they're on their nerves a little bit, shaking, trying to figure it out, but they're making it work, finding the first big interaction into their favor.
And we're seeing a few more of the force functions come out from Axon in general. I think you were right in that it looks like they're really pining for some projectiles to come out from Glacy here.
But good press from Glacy right there, recognizing the space and knowing, hey, I actually have to take my turn back. Not one of those super tight spots with the Wagner door. It could be a nice 2-on-4A at that max range, finding the big hit.
Okay. Should be able to kill here. Goes for the IW. Yeah, keeping it simple there. Sometimes, like, with the drill CS into super, like, when Wagner goes on the wrong side, like...
Just being able to, like, get ready for it and recognize that scramble into your favor, but they were able to do it and able to keep it going. Finding a big hit.
Glacy, however, definitely got something to say. While the last couple of rounds haven't quite been in their favor. No! Not quite there for the DP punish.
Yeah, nothing big, Glacy really making it work right now, this game right now. Just constantly trying to force Action to play down. But they're playing super patient with a great counter hit force function right there.
And we're starting to see, we talked about 2-on-4s, like when we saw Wagner on earlier there, that no cancel into there. The green shield from Glacy is meant to call that out specifically because more often than not, Wagner's outright punishable on green shield on the shield dash.
Well, not only they lose, even if they're plus, they lose their cancel option. That's very important to shield everyone. If you're losing to Wagner to that shield stuff, just shield it. It stops it from doing all her special cancels. Oh, nice delay right there with the 6-4-1.
Okay, this should be the TP. Yeah, keeps it simple right there. Not really trying to go for maybe the higher rewarding ADP, like probably active.
You don't want to do it when you're this close, you're on the stage, trying to make something happen. Oh, turn right.
This is for the set right here. Both players at 1-1, one round apiece here.
And I believe winner makes it out of pools. I think if we're looking at the bracket, that is the case.
Yeah, this is indeed a qualifying match here. The 6FF starting to come out from Glacy, recognizing that Acton is not quite prepared for it. Bailoff comes out here. Things are looking decently. No 2-2C cancel. Trying to stay a little greedy here.
I like that. Go for the charge shield. Keep those plus frames a little bit tighter right there. Now he's trying to make something out of this VO. Goes for the 2-2C, but doesn't connect right there. So Glacy actually gets to take their turn back and open them up with Celestial.
You can talk about that 2-2C later because that might have been the linchpin that allows Glacy to take this set. We're going to see the CDB comes out. Not quite enough damage here. 6-6B. Throw! And Glacy takes the set, punching their ticket out of pools for undernight.
Keeping it tight. That 2-2C, we got to talk about that. Just got shielded right out, and then it made the 2-2C whiff. Huge. Yeah,
that's one of the big things. You really have to be like on it with your like cancel timing on the IC 2-1-4 because they're intangible like during that section of it. And like that changed what would have been a like +10 scenario into like the loss of the set there.
Yeah, it's literally like the one decision. You saw like Axon making this huge run back off that life deficit, gaining tempo, recontrolling his set, getting all their ducks in a row, and then just knocked him over right at the very end.
And it's one of those things where like it literally, it's hard to look back at it and be like, oh, I should have done this. It's like, yeah, of course. But it's a matter of like, it usually ends up being a matter of, okay, how consistent am I with these specific things such that when it matters most, can I get the job done?
Exactly. But also from the Wagner players from the booth, it still happens to us. It happens to all. It happens to the best of us at any given time. So definitely don't let if that happens to you, for anybody at home, anybody who was in the match watching the footage back over, don't let it get to you too much. It'll happen. It'll happen at hour 1. It'll happen at hour 1,000.
And mind you, like again, like Akin being able to really like take that game 1. After that game 1 loss, and really like pushing forward of it was very impressive. We see a couple of really fantastic players up on the stage here. We do indeed have Florida's finest, Big Black.
Yep.
If you see an attorney top 8 for Undernight, you know who it is.
Even if you haven't seen an attorney top 8 for Undernight, you probably know who this is. This is the guy, like for the longest time, Clear Lamp AI in the human flesh. But he beat Clear Lamp.
He beat Clear Lamp.
Clear Lamp, Big Black AI.
New version just dropped here.
New update for the ChatGPT of Undernight Play.
I wouldn't even imagine what Big Black's responses would be. He's so chill and quiet.
He's so chill. He's like one of the most like calm individuals I've met. But that's the kind of skill you need to play a character like Yakia to that level, right?
Absolutely.
Like, Masoma is the exact same way, and like I have very similar results of like taking that character to the full extent.
Yeah. And one thing that you'll see that like is typically very different from Big Black to like other players, sometimes in general, and the Yakuya players, this man's reactions are absolutely absurd.
Yes.
Like he will still rotate in his option selects here and there, but Big Black by and large is like really impressive for being able to just like react and stay calm.
He cut his teeth on PSN net play. You just had to learn how to calculate against that stuff. You had to be able to deal with it without dealing with the shenanigans. But Ultra showed great success in our earlier games, right? Super impressed with their play. So we can see maybe they're the one to take down the Big Black Beast We'll have to find out.
We've seen a lot of crazy upsets coming up here, so we'll see how this goes. 4-beat.
What
Weird
the-
GameStop trade, I'm not going to lie.
I think Ultra may have been able to pick up on that, but I don't think anyone of us were ready for it.
That dash block might have been literally the like tiny thing to get the cycle for Big Black.
Yep.
Alter like had like a ton of grid blocks available.
Yep. Using those forward momentum opportunities, especially on the side swap as well, so you're getting a little bit more grid into the positional. Trying to make stuff happen right now, but they're like just willing to play patient, be like, yeah, you gotta come. I'm gonna figure out when you do something crazy and punish you for it. But right now, I'm fine just chilling over here, 6-6C, keeping the pressure a little tight.
The CS in order to keep the pressure going here. Tons of meter available. The 2D stagger finally connects. That's one of the things about Byakuya you really have to get used to. This dude's stagger like windows are absolutely massive.
He goes for Spider Jill, does not want to. Oh no!
Oh, that was another drop. We saw that happen earlier with PG. But the 2B right there. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. We're sure to see yet another website at the end of this confirmed.
Having meter on deck, going to be able to cash out with the grid cycle this time, not losing it like they did because of the missed setup. And now having to hold this. Ultra not finding the opportunity to even CS. Having to hold this. Oh,
and that's one of the big things right there with that upper web set.
Yeah.
So one thing that Big Black and all Byakuyas you'll see do really well is that they'll opt to like space their 2Bs and their 2Cs like super effectively and time it really well to catch people trying to stand block on the web. With 2-2X, like the low spike available as well, very, very difficult to sometimes get out of Byakuya's set play. I'm curious if Alter might opt to like do certain things like roll or maybe even guard cancel.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of success with roll. If they're willing to just back off and play safe, you might get like put into a block screen, but generally you can stay pretty safe off of it. Let's see what Alter brings out of their bag of tricks. Big Black is keeping it with the staple 1-2-3 web set into the Spider Jail.
And you can see, like, Big Black's offense is already oriented in a way that, like, roll can sometimes be a little bit, oh, that 2-2X was tedious. Jesus.
There was a lot right there with that 2B, like, into that 2-2X right there. Big Black is playing so perfectly against how Alter is wanting to play this game, adapting his play style to his opponent in, like, 1 minute.
Good fail off ends up coming out. Let's see what we get next. These are looking calm from both players. Nobody really trying to mash too heavily. Great reaction with the reversal coming out here from Big Black.
Yeah, it wasn't like recognition of the situation, right? Because you saw them go up in the air, and you're like, oh, the phone-on player is never going to try to press a button down into this versus me. They're just going to get blown up for it. They're probably going for a fireball because you see when you go into the air, sometimes you just get clipped right now, and Big Black gets a full combo. Oh, no, I missed. I'm sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad.
You've cursed him, but it's okay. Gets another combo. Things are looking pretty solid here. Sure to end up in some more OP. Oh no, another drop. We're just cursing.
Yeah, we're just cursing them right now. Hey, that's our goal, right? That's what we're paid the big bucks
to do. That's not my goal. That's not my goal. That's maybe your goal. That's not my goal.
Perhaps. But Big Black doesn't even need it. We can drop all we want. We're just getting more combos and more perfect. Now setting one more game away to move on out.
7 golden letters trying to take Big Black to victory here. Things are looking fantastic. Yet another round start interaction going super well in his favor here. 200 meter to go. We all know how the cookie crumbles here. This is sure to be a couple of web setup.
Oh, guys are not going to work out. Big Black is just holding down back ready for you.
Once again, cycle secured. So much meter to play with as well. The meter on hit that you get in this version is so high. You really do get to just kind of loop into your OP once more. Throw ends up connecting here, and this is sure to be a kill right now. Probably just needs to pop Zevo into the IW here.
No, just goes for CS. Spider Kill one more time. Oh, no. So, yeah, VO, IW. Yeah, okay. We're doing it. Keep it tight. Keep it. Big Black knows. Why would we guess? Why would we guess?
Absolutely efficient in their cash outs right there, and Big Black taking it 2-0 against Alter.
Yeah. I liked a lot of what Alter was doing, right? I just think Big Black was very, like, confident in all of his decisions. Just always being like, I'm going to wait for you to do something and capitalize on your mistakes. Because unless you are a robot, like Big Black might be, I don't know, might have an endoskeleton in there, like, you're going to do something crazy. You're going to get bored of just holding back, shimmying, pressing buttons from full screen. You're going to do something to try to open me up, and I'm going to wait for that and punish you accordingly.
And it was interesting, too, because I want to call back to, like, Game 1, Round 1, where, like, we saw a couple of skirmishes, but then, like, a very, very patient, like, period of, like, 5 seconds when the cycle was about to end.
Yes.
And it felt like Big Black, like, in that, like, weird silent tug of war, like, Big Black would, like, with the quick dash walk there, right? Like, not only is he patient, but, like, he's also decisive when he's, like, finally saying, like, okay, I need to commit here. I need to, like, choose my, like, decision now.
Yeah, absolutely. That is that's like very fundamental to I think how Big Black likes to be playing the game and wants to be fully piloting. So,
For sure.
You know, excellent stuff from him. Great stuff from Alter. Hopefully we get to see Alter making that run back in the loser side, get out of that pool. But right now, we got our next set of players. We got BNP, Javi, and Mai. Mai, someone we haven't seen on stream just yet. You might recognize Mai more for a lot of the art they've done. They were one of like the early people who's in the community doing a lot of art for it.
Oh,
and
gotcha,
doing a lot. They're also an Exerd player. I think they're a Sin player, if I remember correctly. But definitely done a lot of good work, but also putting a lot of work in Uni, played a lot of Uni 2, always repping the games that they play.
Yeah, gotta love to see it. And Javi, as we mentioned before, if you guys have already been on the stream here for this block, awesome Wagner player right there, putting in the work.
Yeah. You know, we were talking, it's like, who are the Wagner players who showed up, and then all of them are in this block.
Convenient.
Convenient.
Very convenient, I'm not gonna lie.
So the Wagner players behind the desk, Wagner players on the screen, it's great. It's 10 out of 10.
Sensational
10 out of 10.
representation.
But yeah, so this should be, Glacy is a phone-on player, if I remember correctly. They may have switched to Kaguya. I feel like I remember seeing that. But I know historically they've been playing phone-on. They're hovering it right now. Did they play Chaos? Am I playing Chaos? I might be thinking of something.
Landrekia. Oh, Landrekia's going to be.
Does it? Okay. So at Frosty's, they played Chaos. Looking back through our notes behind the desk. And but now we're switching to Landrekia. You know, the character that a lot of people have been really like proponing as a very, very strong character. Potentially top tier? We don't know. We don't know.
There's a lot of strong debate, I would say, like over like who like the top class in Under Night is.
But we'll have to see if ice can prevail or if the fire is too much and heating it up. But right now, that was a great GameStop trade to go into Javi's favor.
They're looking good. Gets a shield buff early on.
Yeah, and this is an important thing with Wagner, getting shield buff in this matchup, because you do want to use it to try to avoid a lot of these situations that the Landrekia is going to bring to the table, especially against through Ice Raid.
And we'll see like how these kind of like come up here. In general, right, like this matchup for Wagner, not super ideal in like certain like respects, right? Like especially when you're playing someone like the mid-range games here. But good match here from Javi. Oh, I've not seen this before.
Yeah, going for the staircase route actually, keeping those optimals down. And now just playing patient, expecting that DP to come out, expecting something crazy. But Mai just ready to hold down back, get the pressure where they can, and find that connection.
And we've been talking about it against like about Wagner pressure like pretty frequently here, as we've seen like her come up as a recurring character. But we're seeing Mai opt for a ton of shields, and like against Javi, who is still like piloting into those 2 and 4s. Like that's starting to get called back. So we might see a bit more no cancel like options come out from Javi.
Yeah, potentially you'll have to see, you know, if they decide to switch that, or if they want to keep to their laurels. And Mai's ready for it. 2QC off the drill, keep the plus, and they went for the walk back expecting the DP, but Mai was just waiting and like super patient to find it at the right moment that they need. Good 2C, but the 6C not going to connect because they're stuck on the ground.
Wow, that 2C came out so fast. I didn't even like see the start of the projectile there. And we're seeing it right there with Green Shield and Javi taking the plus frames and moving forward here. Should be 2QC here. We'll see if he opts for burn. No!
Yeah, just going for shield buff right now, trying to keep the pressure, utilizing it though early off those shield cancels.
Potential misinput right there after the CS there for Javi. A couple of hits for Mai, and they are navigating and pushing Javi all the way to the corner. There's one thing Landrekia has got, like since clear, that corner kick is crazy, dude.
And with that extra damage, extra meter build, it's always a very scary situation. Fireball CS, allow him to keep it safe. Good shield, try to take your turn back. But no punish off the plus frame. But a raw 6B on defense.
I was not expecting 6B. I wonder if like maybe Javi was looking for backdash right there. Oh, big drop. Drill, 2QC, staying plus here. Trying to shoestring as much as possible. Great backdash.
Finally baiting out the DP. They've been trying to bait out that DP again and again and again. It's been not working out for them. Even working in my favor, doing like delay DP. But the one time Mai decides to go, I'm just going to DP early. I'm going to get out of this. Javi prepared to beat it out.
Yeah. And one thing, and like Landrekia at 5DB especially is really great at calling out some mid-range things. So, and we haven't really seen Mai opt for that, like as an Abare option there. Yeah. So I think that's part of like the motivation for Javi opting for the backdash.
Exactly. We'll see that potentially changing. Right now, Mai found a good press out of that with that 5DB, like you were saying.
Goes for the ICJC, maybe checking for a throw option from Javi here. Ooh, goes for the explosion, maybe trying to check for a couple of shields right here.
Yeah, potentially checking for a shield, right? Or finding like a jump out into a drill, like a lot of different things to Wagner to avoid that situation.
For sure. But,
ooh, good run up throw right there. Use the 6 speed to frame kill, but not going to make anything big happen.
Oh, catching the up back from Mai right there, but it doesn't end up going in Javi's favor.
Yeah, I thought they were in range for the 5E, but it didn't work. DDC follow-up after the drill.
Yeah, and not opting for the force function. I think they did not want to play around with card frames.
No.
And I cannot blame them.
Versus a lot of characters you can, but Landrekia plays in your frame so well that you're very scary as wider players to go into that.
Vorpal cycle in favor of Javi, of My Hero, rather. Sorry. And I'm curious about that J4FF. I wonder how hard they were really trying to call off the throw there.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that a little bit later down the books. Right now, getting that run-up throw this time, and they are just playing so patient, waiting for Mai to try to do something. Here we go, throw extension with the
no meter available, yeah. Good check. Oh my
Great
God.
2A. Great 2A challenge right there. That super tight spacing, expecting them to go for something a little crazy. Get out of that corner situation. You never want to be in the corner too long with the flagger.
Getting the green shield on the JC, by the way, that was surprising there. Because like that JC, J3B tech, he needs to do
Early hit from Javi.
Once again, with a fantastic confirm here, going corner to corner. Going off to the 2-2C, double buff up back in order to check for the air tech forward.
Here we go. Oh, 60 not going to check. Mai just jumping away, has 200 meter on deck. We have not seen Ice Rain come out at all.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the 3C there from Javi is a bit telling. We might not even get a chance to talk about it further. We're looking at potentially the last interactions. There's the 5BB. Fantastic.
And there we go. Oh, no! The Ice Rain, but got C drilled out of it. Javi was ready for it, but not ready to find the kill right there.
Oh my God, that was so awkward at that last hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Javi, yeah. Smiling on, like, yeah, you know, it was a little scramble, you know, looking like a couple eggs in a frying pan, but we got it out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So you said, you were like, oh yeah, like Ice Rain hasn't come out. And then I saw Javi do like run up 3C, and I was like, I was like, this might get hit actually. But the 2-3-6C, what a fantastic reaction.
Yeah, being able to like see them go into the air and be like, you have not done this. I'm not showing the run up 3C at all. So you're thinking, oh, I'm safe to finally do it. But I already had that like target drawn in my sights and clutched it out right there.
For sure. Because like in terms of Mai's like air interactions, like mostly it was like up forward ICJC or up back ICJC.
Yes.
Like they weren't really able to, or rather they were not choosing like Ice Rain every now and then in order to vary some of the timings there. So just curious.
Yeah.
But yeah. But in general, guys, one thing that we want to talk about here is that we've got a little bit of code here in case you guys want to register for EVO here. Yes. You can put in the discount code CB2024 to get 10% off of your registration for EVO. Folks, we got Under Night coming up at EVO once more. Last EVO champion was Clearland.
We're back, and it might not be this time. Not only is there a lot more like NA talent that's put in the ropes, the JP talent looks even scarier.
EVO Japan results, look.
The Crimson Crusader.
They speak
the
for themselves.
Crusader. And, you know, all the different results from the EVO Japan. And, like, even just the other JP events that are happening is always wonderful to see. But just like our sponsors are always wonderful to see for these events. So please stick around for these ads and then stick around for the last bit of Under Night here for our pools today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are starting to close out our Under Night pools here today. We've seen a ton of sets. We've seen some familiar faces and some great character diversity. Tabby, who do we got coming up next?
We got a couple of characters coming up. We got Revert and we got Painterbell coming up. I believe. Okay, Painterbell. I was like, is this a Canadian matchup? Because Painterbell I thought may have been Canadian from just hearing the name around, but nope, from the good old US of A. And Revert waving, mugging up the camera where they can. Painterbell, a player we were just talking about, we're like not super familiar with them. It'll be interesting to see who they play, who they want to bring out onto the sticks. And it looks like it might be Seth.
Oh, okay, this would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't. The last like block of pools, you know, we got the chance to see like a bit of Seth, and I know like even earlier today, like Knots was over on like stream as well. So we've seen this character pop up a little bit like throughout the day here.
It's a character you're gonna see pop up more and more. I think as time goes on, he's very a grind given character. Once you find the grimier setups and all that, get your cross-up protection break and everything, it's always a little hard to do. Right now, we are getting into it. Revert on the Linné, putting a lot of aggression, and Painterbell staying very cautious to just block out all of this, find an opportunity to up back and take their place.
A couple of counter hits coming out here off of the 5cc. Let's see what we get coming up here. Knockdown sets orb here. Another orb set. checking for defensive responses from Reaver. One thing that you're seeing more, like, that we're seeing in general more and more, like, as this pool goes on, is both players really trying to just, like, use very non-committal pressure, especially early on in, like the first game.
Yeah, it's something that you're going to see a lot the further you get down into these brackets, right? You want to be as non-committal as you can to keep your options as open. But right now, Painter Bell trying to make any kind of thing happen. Reaver getting pulled in a little bit and finally getting tossed out with the orb behind him.
These two characters are so animated. I just watched them double jump around for like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Playing it's real air dasher hours.
Truly.
Staying in the skies, trying to make something happen. He has to get out. And I like that run up, 5A right there, trying to catch a 171 or like a dive kick.
Walk back 5B, really trying to look for some option from Reaver coming up here. Maybe trying to catch some sort of hesitation, but Reaver finally getting out of the corner here. Going for the Helmbreaker ender. Nice knockdown, gets the throw. Cycle as well. Things are looking pretty peachy keen for him.
One more situation to go into the favor. Grid building up as well, but catches him with the low up the grid break. With a little bit of meter with that CS to also guarantee the hit confirm. Reaver looking very, very confident right now in their options. Once they're able to get in, Painter Bell, I'll give him a chance to breathe.
And using a couple of those, using that 6xFF, right? The ability to jump afterwards and still keep your pressure varied, especially with dive kick available as Lene. It's really great to keep things a little vague.
Throw. That orb, you see Reaver always trying to get rid of that orb as soon as they can. But now Painter Bell recognizing that and going to take advantage of a good jump out. That's player hey, I played bench. I know exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to try to get me out of this.
And even better stuff on Painter Bell for being for recognizing that and managing to clip them out of the air.
Exactly, yeah. There's a constant back and forth on all these micros. Super impactful. Good press. Reaver not able to get out of it. Yeah.
Good walk back, not really trying to engage with Reaver too heavily. Sometimes you'll see players like at the end of like their veil off really just trying to like find an excuse to pop meter. And honestly, Lene being able to pop EX Kuga and get a couple of plus rounds, sometimes it comes up a bit more frequently. Cycles in favor of Reaver. Speaking of, might get Celestial if they land like a throw or something.
Well, they'll pop it right there a little bit early, trying to make something happen.
Oh! Not able to press the 5cc right there, and they're going to get clipped. This should be the end of the round and the game.
Yeah, catch up the IW. Reaver putting their point on the board, securing their ticket into another round, one step closer. It's been a day. It's been a day. I always out of it. Don't worry, we're good.
I'm so. You guys can't see it, but sometimes the camera's on Reaver's face. This man makes the funniest faces I've ever seen someone play a fighting game.
I just don't look at the kid. It'll go.
You wouldn't guess it based on it's like, oh, look, he's not committing. He's moving around gracefully, and then sometimes
he's even done something too quick for the camera. Oh my goodness!
This is cracking me up. Painter Bell doing a solid job. Really good shield on the dive kick there, actually. Oh my god. This is great stuff. Over 100 meter to work with here. Should be able to go with 63C and take it. CS, 66C. Oh!
No, missed it. I only got the 3C right there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right. Not getting any of the throws baited. In fact, the 5A match will end up getting it done. Oh my god, shit. Dude. Freaking Seth J.A. Bro, that shit's nuts.
It is pretty.
I'm gonna be a little French here, but Jesus Christ.
When they changed how it works, or they changed the hitboxes from it and make it just like a super solid tool in this version, it's always so scary.
Big grid break right there. Still going for some of the assault pressure, and I just love these 5A staggers from here, honestly. Like, both players have been willing to just, like, commit to the 5As and, like, check for options.
Well, because they're both characters and players that want to be playing around those really low minus frames, trying to make something happen.
Oh, my God.
And Reaver just going for throw again and again and again. But that's great recognition going into this round. Like, hey, you're willing to down back this hard for this long? I'll take it.
For sure, for sure. Reaver managing to catch it here. And I wonder if Painter Bell might start opting for like a 63C reversal just to like show it, given that Reaver's showing a lot of assault and a couple of other things that will still lose to like a wake-up reversal.
Yeah, it's something we haven't seen at all come out from it. The only thing reversal we've seen is the GO.
And I think that might be part of the reason why. Oh my god, that Kuga actually mixed the hell out of me.
I'm more surprised that 5A didn't connect right there.
Oh my god.
Oh, the air-to-air.
That is fantastic presence of mind to catch the backdash like that. That was really good stuff from Reaver there. That was really clean. That was clean.
That was excellent.
What are you looking for? Oh my god. But yeah.
Looking for his moment to mug up a little bit.
But yeah, one of Linnea's finest players out here. And Canada is a force to be reckoned with, especially in Under 90.
I feel like everybody kind of knew about Vancouver the longest time, right? That was sort of like the dominant powerhouse for a while. But like every single time, this is Toronto, right? Or Ontario, I think technically.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot
Ontario.
off the top of my head.
Like, but it's that Eastern Canada is now finally coming out a little bit more, keeping it a little bit more frequent, and just like really, really putting in the work.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Revert here. We saw Psychotic earlier, and we are sure to see like a bunch of people like come up over time.
But I just that air-to-air JA was so
that was so beautiful. Oh my god. And it's those little things, right? Like, Uni to me is such a interesting game because like while there is still so many aspects of like, you know, there's so much like free flow ideas that you can implement here. There's a lot of things that you can really lab and like really grind and like get into the weeds of it, especially with replay takeover.
Yeah, especially with replay takeover, because Uni is one of those like, it's that genre of older style of game where it's like, we call it an infinite game, right? Where there's always, you're going to be playing it and you're going to see a new interaction come up every single session where you're like, I have never seen that before. And then you go and lab it out and you're like, oh, I can do this. And then the next time it comes up, you immediately are able to like push it out.
For sure. And then like you factor in like the cycle and how both players and characters might like weigh their value, right? Like I think a classic thing, especially when you're learning Under Night, is how much do I need to care about the cycle? How much does my opponent actually care about the cycle? And how much is this like changing like this like our decisions here, right?
Yes.
Like you'll run into some people that absolutely do not really care for the cycle like that heavily, and then like suddenly you're like, what is going on? You're committing here, like realize if you lose Vorpal, like this is bad, and they're like, I'm just hitting you, dude. And like you have to like readjust, like you have to adapt.
Yeah, CS does not matter if I am just hitting you, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Like and there's also like situations where there's just like raw RPS at hand.
Yeah.
And like you have to like learn how to navigate around that accordingly. Oh, that's very sweet.
Oh, I've seen them come up a couple times, just taking photos with all their opponents.
Oh,
that's super sick. It's super sick. Good memory, because yeah, we got Professor Pizza back up on deck. That's a Tsurugi player who was playing really well. And then we have Loki on deck, who, if I remember correctly, is a Gordo player.
I don't know.
It's a name I've seen around a bit. I think I don't remember what online event. I think I've seen him in online events. I've seen him local before, or like local offline events. Yes, they're a Gordo player.
Okay. And keep in mind, guys, this is the pools. This is like this is to get out of pools at this point. This is on the loser's side of things.
No, the winner's side. We're doing an all winner side.
Oh right, this is
the winner's side.
Alright. I apologize.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is gonna be sick. This is gonna be sick.
This is gonna be sick. This is like, you know, it's one of those fresh characters and a character that people a fresh coat of paint, right? Gordo has seen a lot of stocks rise up over time.
Oh my god, especially after EVO Japan.
Yeah.
That was the responses after EVO Japan were abusive. I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
So see Loki playing very solid right now. We saw like they're loving that 5C spacing, which is what Gordon wants to do. You know what? But versus Tsurugi, it's a very good option unless they commit very hard to things like that 6-6B, which bring them a little bit closer. Super Reaper putting them out. Though.
Yeah, and I'm surprised by Loki opting to commit to the stand shield right there. I'm not sure if it was intentional, just because like that 6-6B is such a big option that you really want to like look for against. Yeah. Speaking of which.
A great option. Pizza has brought out in previous matches, and they're going to continue to use it here, but Loki not letting it get to them so far. Why do these early routes? Oh, good DP out, yeah. You say, hey, you keep meeting me over and over again. I don't want to hold any of that. Stay plus. See if them reach that far. I was a little surprised, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was oh my god, the neutral jump JC, I believe, right there.
Oh, there we go.
And I think like Loki right now, like simple as it sounds, really needs to like kind of reorient around like that option from Professor Pizza. Yeah. The 6-6Bs are like coming out so frequently and connecting.
It's such a good tool, and if the opponent is not representing like, hey, I'm gonna stop you from doing this, just keep doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And whenever we see it, punishing it early on with just backdashing out with Gorge, good backdash, and then coming in trying to use the frame kill to C, but Professor Pizza not having it, and we'll be having the damage.
Keeping it simple with the pressure, 2C no cancel into the 2C. Both players backing off. Oh wow, slide just barely connecting. That was probably going to be plus even if Pizza blocked it from that range.
It's right at that tip spacing that Gordon's been really like prioritizing now. There you go. Hit him out of the sky with the Bia Sim.
big call out right here. Next hit should lead to a kill. 2C whiffs, no punish. Gets the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, didn't want to up for the follow-up because it's a little tight if it actually kills right there or not. So good CS, kept the combo simple.
Plus frames here.
A great backdash from Professor Pizza, but Locky now ready for those backdashes, doing it enough, and just going to capitalize on it with tools to cover the post-backdash situation. DP is not of the A variety, so you cannot EX cancel it.
Not quite there with the punish, but I already liked some of the adjustments that we're seeing here from Locky. It felt like they really didn't have like a lot of control over the game. Whoa!
Yeah.
I don't know if that was meant to be like a TK or something right there with like the up 4 JBG.
Yeah, I'm not too certain, but that's a future me problem right there. IW coming out is going to get blocked. Don't get star underscore.
Okay.
Hit confirm in the cap right there.
Oh my god, the 2B still connecting, however, from range, and that will give Locky their first game of this set.
But we saw it was very dominant Professor Pizza's way, and now in Locky's game, it's like already shifted over into them. So it is anyone's match right here, at being 1-1.
Oh wow, assaults over the slide here. Things are a bit awkward and neutral, maybe looking for a concentrate or trying to shield something, but the whiff punish, and Locky again absolutely cognizant of that 6-6B presented from Pizza here.
Locky's doing a great job of Locky's doing a great job of constantly picking from outside of that 6 range.
All right, now Beasley. Okay, never mind. You're right. You're better.
That's why he's there. We're back.
That's why he's there.
Yes, one more.
Oh, that's really meter efficient.
Yeah. Building 50 off that, guaranteeing the kill right there. Locky looking very confident. We'll see Pizza can do anything to make this comeback, but right now Locky looking dominant.
I wonder if we're going to see a 2-3-6C come out eventually. Pizza's still been opting for the 6-6B, and given the way that Locky's trying to space around it, I think 2-3-6C might like end up like punching a hole there.
It is great, like not bringing those 2-3-6Cs out, because that was something they were bringing out so much in these other games that they were playing. But here we are, we saw them try to do it, and they get force functions. That is why they were not doing it, because on reaction, catching them out with the rusty nails, and Locky blocking it up 2-1.
Absolutely great work right there.
Doing it. Shout out to Mexico, making the trip up.
Shout out to KOF.
Shout out to KOF.
Shout out to the Rock Shirt.
Yeah, he is the Rock Shirt. I didn't realize.
Rock Howard.
Yeah, I'm always like, I'm a big proponent of like, yeah, every time we get the Mexico guys up here, we gotta get them on everywhere, because Mexico is really like good at this game. Like, people don't like recognize like how good these players are. They just don't get as many opportunities to come up and travel for it. So seeing these players come through and show off and really put in the work is always really nice to see.
And like that's one of the things about Uni that's always like very interesting. Like there's so much regional diversity.
Yes.
Like you'll see like people from like everywhere pull up. Like I remember really distinctly when like managed to show up for like I believe it was Climax 21 or 22.
It was Climax 4 2021.
Yeah. And I remember like Jushichi talking about being like this is the golden child. Like it was Lion King.
Yeah.
And you get to see like so many people around. Speaking of which, we're already seeing more countries being represented up here. We have Psychotic that's going to be coming up next against.
Yeah, this is gonna be up against Grim Cognito.
Grim Cognito.
Grim Cognito. That's a banger name. That's pretty cool. It's pretty sick.
I'll give it that.
But yeah, our matches are winding down. We're getting a little late. I believe this might be the last match of the evening, which it is. So this is the last bit of Under Night that you get to see on the pools portion. But remember to stick around after this, because we've got the character auction tournament.
Oh my god, yes! Hosted by Panj Batai. This is going to be good.
It's on Low Kick, right? Yep, so it'll be on Low Kick.
Yeah.
I will be blowing money on a character.
Oh yeah. You got a bunch of funds to work with.
I've got some money.
Okay.
Money I'm willing to throw into a burning trash pile.
Absolutely. Oh my god. I need to. You know what? And let me not.
Don't think about it.
I'm not gonna think about it too much.
Because you got to think about these players that are sitting down.
Absolutely.
Psychotic we saw earlier, long-time anime game player. Right? Like we were talking to his career in Uni, was an Aurier player, then switched over to Wall, Leighton LeClaire, long-time Blaze Blue players. I think won their pools in Grand Blue right before this pool as well. So they're putting in the work. Grim Cognito, not a player I'm super familiar with, but they made it this far. You got to be good at least pressing buttons.
And we've seen a lot of very strong players like throughout each of these pools here, like today already, within this block line.
Yes.
Right?
I've been seeing it. I've been catching these other blocks a little bit, and I feel like every single time there's like, oh, I don't know who you are. Oh, I need to know who you are.
Yes. So we're seeing the Merkava getting locked in here. This is a matchup that I'll be honest, I have not seen this come up very quickly.
comes up semi-frequently around the PNW. We got some active Merc players, some active Wald players, right? It's a matchup that is, I've heard Wald players say they're not super happy with, right? Because you get to do a similar game plan, but you're staying a little bit further out. But if you get to play in that exact range that the Wald speed wants, the game's pretty good.
Wake up throw ends up connecting here from Cognito.
They didn't get the full mash on this, so they weren't, I think, fully ready for the throw to connect right there.
Right.
The dive kick after the CS. Gonna work out for them. No worm set.
I like the full mash of this situation here. Cycle is looking pretty in favor of Psychotic here, and neither player is really trying to commit very heavily. Both players keeping it very simple. Oh,
yeah. Psychotic had to ride a DS shield the flight Oki, but they didn't try to go for anything crazy after it that the shield would normally punish. Just kept it safe. Oh, trying to catch him out of the skies, but Grim Cognito just play, hey, I'm going to play lame and patient on the other side of the screen. You've got to come to me. Body Smash CS will allow them to do that, but Grim just runs away.
And I really do like that Grim's not really opting to commit super heavily. Not much meter available for any. Oh.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is if you get into that range, the Wald player gets to gain a lot of advantage. And if you just want to play like from the other side, the Wald player will eventually get themselves in CS. No way. Oh my goodness. Of course it does.
Without meter, mind you.
Without meter, yeah. Didn't have it had the CS to build the meter into it, but still didn't even. That was going to do even more damage. Yes, clap some plus.
And those pain shields on the assault normals, if you're a Wald player, you are absolutely looking for them. Wald, like, one thing that's like really like specific about Wald is that like while his frame data is not even necessarily the best, like he's got a lot of blocks done to check for a lot of these shields. So like you'll see like the 360A start to come out here. Speaking of which,
360A connected right there. And now just playing patient, trying to find those swipes, right? Catching the Grim being up in the air, but staying very patient right now on the ground. 2-360 going to connect once again, but no full combo.
Much of awkward interaction. 2-1 for A from that range. I wonder if that was a misinput there.
Yeah, potentially could have been, or was like, hey, maybe this will work. But Psychotic was ready for it, ready to punish. Knocking him down with the God Press. Oh, and I like that patience, just waiting for the 2-360 and then punishing it immediately afterwards. Cycle build up in their favor, so a good VO stripped it from them.
Oh, but the green shield right there immediately into the swipe.
Yep. Swipes is like, once you get into that sort of mid-range territory that you saw Psychotic want to be in 24/7, it was working perfectly. But as soon as it got a little bit further out, that's when Grim was getting the full control. And now you can see they're really like, just breathing like, okay, I got to get back to where I was. I got to be able to hold them down. And now 2-3-6A happening early on. Good tech out. That B grab, not going to get shielded, not going to get shielded.
Opting the zone right here, Grid, like in a couple of places, but you can see the ways in which like Psychotic is like very, very aware of like how to handle like Merc like 5CG and so on.
Well, you have to remember, Psychotic has Klim as his local. He knows this matchup more than anyone.
That's very true. That's very true. Okay, really hard committing to like the stances right there. Grim ending up going for the dash after flight.
Back themselves off, finds that right spacing to get a nice hit.
He's about to get Celestial from holding IC4.
Yeah. I just put together IC4. 2-3-6 is going to connect, though, even though Psychotic did get the Celestial, built that 200 meters. Grim getting the first big combo of the game, 50 seconds in.
All right, things are looking pretty decent here. I'm shocked by the 2D this one every time. Oh god, Clap just barely whiffs right here. Yeah, Grim might not win the cycle depending on how much like shield Psychotic also, but a really nice chance here grab here. Smart shields right there on the like
yeah. That's Psychotic now finding his first big route. But we're in an Undernight Classic. There's 25 seconds left on the spot.
Oh, so much time has passed. The delay 2B right there, Psychotic. I think opting for the delay 3C, looking for maybe like a dive kick.
Yeah, and you saw Grim just wanting to go into a hard knockdown and try to play the life total game, but that smart steer missed. So now,
this might be a timeout.
Yeah.
Absolutely time this person out.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely time this person out. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's Morgava.
There's no.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh,
no.
Wait.
If he goes into the wait. No. Hold on a second. This is definitely gonna do enough damage. Should be able to win by a timeout. The IMAX is not gonna kill here. 2 seconds left. Wait. Okay, but what if you dash up there? Oh, literally the knockdown's too long.
Yeah, the knockdown was too long with those last 2 seconds.
Oh my god. Grim looking over like with so much respect towards the Psychotic and then clicking 2 refusal.
Oh, good. But once again, that route not going into the smarts here. Tap it like one other time at the end of that last round. And now charging the cycle, just building all you can while Psychotic has got grid broken.
And I like that decision for Grid. You don't really need to, because like while you're blocking, you get out of your brick a little faster. Like, you can, okay, this is absolutely, good punish here from Psychotic.
Yeah, just easy swipes in, not going for the body splash for that early, knowing that they can keep it safe, keep that cycle for a little bit longer.
Should be able to get the cycle once more at the end of this combo with the C God press.
No reason to change it. Oh, 6-2-3-C, not the thing that you're looking for right there. Did get you out of the corner, so the combo is not as scary, but it doesn't matter when you die at the end of it.
Psychotic's got the damage, dude. They got the absolute routes, and they have punched their ticket outside of pools on the winner's side here today.
Yeah, getting another one, trying to collect the 32 for all the games they signed up.
Oh, my God. Look, I don't know how people do it.
Hey,
Jesus.
Some people, they're just built differently. And look at those biceps.
Absolutely
He's
constructed
built
differently.
The weakest Keisoku band fan.
Dog, you'll be like, oh, okay, like I wonder like what Psychotic's doing. Like they're so learned, and then like gym picks.
Yeah, you go to turn. It's like, all right, what's going on? It's like, oh, that is
just PR'd.
That's a nice PR. 500.
It's like,
let's go.
But again, that will conclude our Uni 2 pools here today. We have seen an absolute, we've seen a very, very big smorgasbord of like gamers out here today. So.
Yeah, ranging from I started with Uni 2 or like, these like late Claire people to all the way to I've been playing this game since Third Strike. And, these, the old boomers, but it's everybody doing the work and making it very, very strong and showing some great games that I'm excited to see these people all move forward into the round 2.
Yeah, I'm absolutely excited for these guys. There's going to be so much crazy stuff coming up tomorrow, guys. But again, that will be it. But hey, there's more Undernight action for today. We were just talking about it earlier. There's a whole auction coming on here on this stream, so be sure to keep a watch on it. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Tabby, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, Toledo, as well. Thank you all for tuning into the pools portion of Undernight today. Like we said, stay tuned for some more Uni action coming up, but we'll see you all next time.